It's that same old startup screen glow, blowing dust off a gray game logo. Saturday stacked in a plastic case, sleepover scores we can't erase. Kirk's got stats like a cheat sheet code, and he's got jokes from the late night shows. Top 4 takes from a childhood stash, argue till the credits crash. Welcome to my nostalgia therapy. Top 4 reasons I still feel 16. Pixel hearts and worn out DVDs. Play it back, let it all come clean. Laughing like we never had to leave. Hit subscribe to the Kid and Me. Every week's another memory. Yeah, this is my nostalgia therapy.
This is your top. Oh, this is the Rushmore Show where it's all about your top 4 and nothing more. I was drumming and I lost track of what I was doing. Welcome in, guys. That's why I don't drum, dude, because my mind can't do both. 7 people in the house. Say hello. And who are you and where are you from? And we are talking movie scenes tonight. If you love movies and you love that nostalgic scene at the movies, tonight is the night. Drop your top 4 movie scenes in the chat. We've got some great guests going, and I am excited to get going on. Andy, what is happening in your neck of the woods? Belchase.
Yes, just living it up here on the South Shore. Hey, look, I want to show this off. It's not hanging yet. I haven't shown the whole tour because it's, I mean, all I would have to do is turn my camera like 1 degree.
What's up, Patrick CQC? Welcome in. Top 4 and nothing more.
I have now a room that is dedicated to the Rushmore Show, which I'm in right now.
Barry's in the house. Welcome in, buddy. Oh, by the way, Dave Mattingly, if you're hanging around, thanks for your top 4. 11 folks up in this joint. Show it.
All right, sorry. I had a text here. We're in a Rushmore room, and Kirk got this sign made for me. Now it's backwards. It's mirrored.
No, it's not mirrored on my side.
Well, it's mirrored on my side, so I don't know how you guys see it, but it's the Rushmore room, Belle Chase, Louisiana, established 2026. Pretty cool stuff there. So we have an official Rushmore room over here in Belle Chase. Very excited. Kirk, I was thinking if you ever are here when we're filming, I don't think we can both fit in this room. I mean, it's that small.
I'd have to stand behind you like security.
Nice and close quarters in here, but man, no, it's going great. It's going great. We're having a great time. So,
I said, hey, announce yourself and say if you love movies. And my name is Stephen Burnett, and I'm from Dearborn.
Birthplace of Texas.
Steven in the house. That flipper dude is funny, and so welcome in that flipper dude. Hey, so yeah, man, I'm glad you're getting a little established. I got a busy
real quick. Let me just do a quick shout out. That flipper dude is in here, and he a couple weeks ago we did a show, and he sent me a James Taylor concert tee, which
did he? I know he kind of talked about it.
I wore it the other day. I didn't wear it tonight. I'll wear it on a future show up here. But thank you, man. Really do appreciate that. Love James Taylor. Love merch too. So appreciate that.
Love merch. If you guys want to know my address to send me free things, I will shoot it up. I'm just playing. Hey, so let's get this thing going. So tonight we have 2 really amazing folks. They're both newbies, so be nice to them. And we're going to talk movie scenes. We were supposed to have our buddy Izzak. Prayers out right now towards Izzak and his family. His daughter's sick and he couldn't make it. But we have a special guest that jumped in and joined us. Here's a little bit of the spoiler alert who that is. But hey, well, let's get this thing going, man. So top 4 movie scenes of all time are going to be amazing. Andy, I think it's time. Let's get it. You ready?
Let's get it. I'm not ready yet, but I will.
Cool. So I'll get us ready right here. And here we go, guys. Welcome to the Rushmore Show, where we're going to talk about your top 4 movie scenes of all time. Let's get it. What's up, Dave? Yes, he is really coming on tonight. Yes. I mean, it's only been like 3 years that we've been like, hey, why don't you come on? Why don't you go? We haven't really like bugged him a lot about it, but Andy was like, hey, now that Andy's all cool, he like goes to special meetings with him. Hey, I heard there was a highly requested guest tonight. Yeah, absolutely. So let's get this thing going, and get those guests out here. Andy, since Ben's going to go second, right? I'm going to announce him out here first. Welcome to the show, our buddy Ben Robert, the proprietor, the director, the owner, the mastermind of our favorite convention, next to Davies convention, who's in the chat. St. Tammany Collectors Con. Welcome in, Ben. There he is.
Whoa. What's happening? What's going on? That's what I hit the wrong button.
There he is. Hey.
Let's get your applause as you come on out, Ben.
And
welcome to the show, Ben.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show. Thanks for jumping on last minute. Hopefully,
I still can't hear Kirk, though.
Kirk, he can't hear you. We had that issue last week for some reason. I don't know. I hear you, but other people can't hear you.
I hear Andy, but
he hears me. I don't know what's going on with that. So, I now can't hear you.
I'll jump out and jump back in once I.
Let's try that. Yeah, let's bring on our next guest first.
I'll welcome him in, and then if it's not me, then it might be Ben, and we'll just have to do that. So Ben and Davey Rushmore Show would be quite the show. Yeah, we would love that, Patrick. So here, let's do this. Let's get our other guest out. Retro Rewind says he hears everybody. So all right, so here we go. Welcome in our other new guest. First time on the show. I actually spent some time with Retro Rewind podcast on his chat. He's a big inspiration for us on the devotional side. He's doing a movie devotional. He is the leader of the Popcorn Theology podcast. Welcome out to our show, James Harleman, to the episode. Everybody, say hello.
Hey, what is up?
Round of applause. Yeah. Hey, so look, I'm going to let you guys chat a little bit, and then I'm going to jump out. So, Andy, you might have to tell Ben, hey, this is your chance to share everything about his channel, and I'll get out of here.
Translate everything that Kirk just said, Ben, while he hops out. Hey, Ben, now he's saying he just hears me. I don't know what's happening. It's going to be one of those nights. That's just live internet for you. Hey, Ben, since you're going to go second, why don't you just share real quick everything about STCC, who you are, what's going on in the world of STCC. We got one coming up not too far from now.
Starting to ramp up for it.
Special things happening pertaining to this one. What's going on? What's that STCC all about?
So St. Tammany Comic-Con, that's STCC. That is here in Southeast Louisiana in Mandeville, just north of New Orleans. We do this event 2 times every year. And this fall, November 14th and 15th, will be our 10-year anniversary. So it's a big Comic-Con we do down here in Mandeville. We take over an event center called the Castine Center, and we pack that things with everything nostalgic, anything from comic books and toys, records, sports cards, Pokemon, all kinds of stuff. So me and my wife, we run it with a group of our friends. Andy, of course, is part of that, and Andy and Kirk come in every show, and we love having them. And so that's STCC.
Nice. And when is the next one's coming up pretty soon, huh?
Yeah. The fall show will be November 14th and 15th.
Awesome. Yeah, man, we love STCC for sure. What a blast! What a great time! And by the way, Ben, I got to talk to you after. I may have a ice cream vendor. I just got off the phone with him before the show.
Nice.
We got that happening. All right. Well, Ben, welcome to the show. James, let's go to you real quick.
Can you hear me, Ben? No,
I don't think Ben can hear you. It may be on his end. He says he can't hear James either. He can only hear me. So he's gonna hop off and hop back on.
Well, you're gonna have to translate for him. So great man caves, gentlemen. I love that. Hey, I missed what Ben was saying, but I know he told us all about St. Tammany Collectors Con. James, now it's your turn. Can you do us a favor? We call them the Summit Squad. Let all of our friends know all about the popcorn theology and your corner of the internet.
Well, it's funny being on it with Ben since he does Comic Cons. My wife and I actually did a stint for about a decade as the cosplay coordinators, sort of the contest coordinators for Emerald City and C2E2 and some others. That was a blast season of my life, but not really part of the main part of my life. I actually just realized it was 25 years ago this week, I think, that I was actually paid to go see a few films at the Seattle International Film Festival and actually write spiritual reviews from a more of a Christian perspective on them. That was sort of my entry into ministry, probably my first paid ministry, anything. Of course, now I'm a pastor at a church here in Greater Seattle, and I managed to start a whole website. At the time, it was called Cinemagogue, little cinema and synagogue squished together. Wrote a book on that in 2012 and published that. That inspired a couple guys. You might have ticked off my friend David, because it was actually my friends David and Richard who, inspired by the book, started this podcast. I didn't even know them then in 2012 to look at film from a fun but also spiritual perspective called Popcorn Theology. And then when one of them had their first kid, they asked me to come in as a guest host, and I never left. So I am a staple now, but to call me the lead guy, I think they were kind of like the Luke Skywalker and Han Solo, and I'm like the Obi-Wan Kenobi. My Force ghost just kind of floats in there.
Yeah, well, that's great.
Yeah, and managed to publish another book called The Marvelous Era after that, just to talk about the last decade, or actually 25 years really of superhero cinema. So it's been a fun side hustle ministry alongside my main gig as a full-time pastor. And because I love talking movies. I think before I was a Christian, they were definitely my idols. Now they've taken a second seat.
Yeah, man, that is awesome. And there's Ben again. Ben, can you hear me?
I just
Yes.
Hey,
there we go.
It works.
there it is. Hey, Patrick just sent you a wrench. Welcome into the moderator side of the Summit Squad. And Bryce just made it in. I made it home just in time. I was doing Uber Eats, sort of like, hey, we love Bryce. Bryce is our guy. He's one of our members of the channel. Hey, so thank you to both of you guys.
Patrick says I have a very expressionate face. I always thought I had a face for radio, so that's good to hear.
Oh yeah. Well, it is kind of we're supposed to be a podcast, but we're more of a webcast, I guess, is what it should actually be. So we have to show our face off sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting Mothman Prophecy's chapstick scene to make your mountains, is what Francisco said. And that is alluding to the fact that I was on Mothman Prophecies with James on Retro We Run podcast. So while we're there, everybody go and check that out after the show. But let's get this thing started. So we're the Rushmore Show. We go our top 4. If you're new around here, you can follow along with us and be a part of the journey. We go 4-3, take a little break, 2-1. And what is really cool about our show, it's our nostalgia therapy. You may have saw that in the intro. But what we love is the fact that every one of us have a different experience with pop culture and a different take on what you would say are the top 4 of certain genres. Tonight, we were actually, Izzak, who's not here, was the one that actually picked this. And James was kind of like, I don't know if I want to do this one. I'm not sure. So hopefully we work this out. And then Ben jumps in last minute. So we're going to do movie scenes. It's one that Andy has wanted to do probably for about 2 or 3 years. And we finally talked some people into doing it. So we're going to talk movie scenes, greatest movie scenes of all time. With that being said, James, you're going to go first. You need to tell us kind of your criteria, like what you were thinking when you curated your list, and then you're going to start us off with Rosie, the first part of the mountain. So give us your criteria first.
Well, so I get to explain how you guys almost killed me. So,
welcome to the show.
Although I blame Izzak, right? So but he gets a pass now. I can't be mad at him. So, so I'll explain the criteria. But along with that, I do get to pick on you guys a little bit because almost all your other shows, even all the ones I've watched, Christmas foods. It's not just foods, right? Cartoon theme songs, not just theme songs. But yet you gave me movie scenes. It's like, where do I even start?
Yeah.
So part of me was like, calm down. Just identify 4 categories and then pick my top in each category. But there's so many more than 4 categories. It's like action scenes, opening scenes, climax scenes, scary scenes, chase scenes, reveal, twist scenes, monologue scenes. So after I got out of the hospital, I just decided to go real personal and pick 4 that I wanted to make sure they did have cultural impact, but then also had some kind of legacy impact on me personally, maybe at different life stages, some kind of emotional or personal way that they've lingered.
That is fantastic. You sound like a regular.
So as you can imagine, with all of that craziness in my head, I have a fair share of Benjamins. Just
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
But so that being said, I'm for my Rosie.
Yeah, so you're going to go up Rosie. Tell us your number 1. We'll start climbing this mountain.
Okay. So let me build into this here. So this was from one of my greatest joys in a movie. So this scene was one of my greatest joys in a movie as a youth, and also the first time I cried in a movie. It was 1986. And this movie scene didn't just traumatize me, it traumatized an entire generation of boys. It was an animated movie featuring a character who's endured for over 40 years. And as I was watching it, I was listening to a pretty impressive Stan Bush song that's saying, "You've got the touch, you've got the power.
You got the touch."
So I'm talking about Optimus Prime versus Megatron in 1986, Transformers the movie, the scene in which we saw the most action, but also the death of Optimus Prime.
He went great.
Yeah.
Peter Cullen's deep, wonderful voice says Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost. He turns into a semi-truck, and I know he's not Jesus, but he's at least then a semi-savior. You see a Decepticon reflecting in his grill, and then bam, it bounces off. He transforms. I think he leaps 50 feet into the air, shoots 3 guys before his feet even hit the ground, beats Megatron, lays down his life till all are one, and he dies. And it's, again, it wasn't just me. If you look at the history of this thing, this got such a clamor from parents groups. They didn't realize what they were doing. They thought they were just clearing the floor for a new toy. But then they didn't realize Prime practically parented latchkey kids in the 80s. And I had a good dad, but he was sort of like a surrogate father. And when you watch him basically reflect what Jesus says, greater love has no one than this, than to lay down his life for a friend. And then the hero you've watched for years in the cartoons dies. I mean, that was a pretty hideous moment. At the same time, it was the most amazing moment because you got to see somebody. No kid wanted to be Optimus Prime. You wanted to be Bumblebee or Spike. He was aspirational. He was this thing you just wanted to be around. He was godlike in a way. And in fact, Wired magazine, I think, even said Optimus Prime is a desperate grab for God, daddy, and masculinity. And I think they've repeated his death. I mean, how many times has he died? They've repeated this culturally. It's the 40th anniversary this year, and they're actually doing what's called the Apology Tour, re-releasing the movie in theaters. But they're calling it's the Apology Tour because they killed Optimus Prime. Of course,
Bryce says he thought you were going to go Pokemon. And then Patrick says he thought you were going to talk about the stars, Land Before Time.
Okay.
Bryce says it's a good choice, though. I'll jump in here. I felt it in my bones when you started to narrate where we were going. Oh, by the way, Patrick also says you have a voice for cinema. So there you go. Or maybe it was Dave. Dave said that. Yeah, Dave. Here's the thing. This, as well as a few other scenes very similar to this, happened in the 80s, early 90s, in my childhood as well. And they are the kings of depression. If we ever do the saddest moments, if we ever do the saddest scenes or saddest moments of your childhood, this will probably make it. I loved action figures. I loved Optimus Prime. I loved Transformers. Speaking of that, from what I remember, I believe they were going to kill Duke too, and because of all of this, they were like, "No, we're not going to do that because that was a bad idea." So I love this pick. Ben, you were about to jump in about the Duke thing because you're a G.I. Joe guy. I'm sure you knew that.
Yeah, obviously. So in '86 when that came out in theaters, the G.I. Joe, the animated movie, was in basically post-production. and they saw the reaction of Optimus dying. And if I remember correctly, the Transformers movie got the idea because they heard that G.I. Joe was going to do that with Duke. But the Transformers got it to the theaters first, and then there was this big protest, and they already had everything animated for G.I. Joe, so they changed just a few things. When Duke gets stabbed, Scarlet says he's gone, and then they add into a coma. And then
and then at the very end of the movie, they have somebody come in and he's like, hey, he's gonna come be okay.
Yeah, Doc chimes in on the radio, says Duke's gonna be okay, and they all cheer. You know. And there was another movie, I forget which one, but it had the same effect. So yeah, definitely.
Well, I know that Land Before Time does, and we might actually talk about that tonight. But there's 3 more in my mind. When I was typing my things up, I had a short about 6 movies that are like, these are some of the greatest scenes of all time, but they're not my favorite. Yeah, and I kind of like put them on the side in case I need them for Benjamins. And this is one of them. Duke will return in Doomsday. So Patrick says All Dogs Go to Heaven would definitely be on my Rushmore of saddest scenes with Amory. That is another one of those tear-jerking scenes. And hello, Kenneth. What's the frequency? Welcome in.
My problem with sad scenes is that, dude, I cried in The Rookie. I mean, like, it's like I don't know, like I'll just cry in any movie, and totally unashamedly.
Well, especially after I got saved, I started crying all the time. I was like,
I got 3 daughters. I mean, that's all we do is cry. So
yeah. And this is a good pick, though. Well, good start. Transformers. I didn't know that this is going to be mentioned, and I didn't know how you guys were going to go. So this is a good pick. Andy
is in the house. Real life perspective. What's going on?
What up, fellas? Almost the weekend. Yeah, man. Real life. We got a plan when we're gonna hang out on your side of the woods again. Love what you're doing. Everybody, go follow all these guys. They all have wrenches. Drop your channels in the chat if you have a channel. And don't forget to smash the most iconic like button of all. Thank you, Capitan Francisco. All right, Ben, you're up, man. So, Ben, what's your criteria tonight? And maybe get us back on the happy side of things. I don't know. But,
so my criteria, I actually last night when Andy reached out to me to do this, I've got a Plex server here at my house. So, we've got like over 1,000 movies on it. So I just started scrolling through the library just to kind of bring back some memories of different scenes from some of my favorites. But my criteria was, first and foremost, the emotional reaction that a scene garners and prompts the audience. And then, obviously with the nostalgia hit going back, and the scene really had to survive time for me to be able to pick it. And most of my scenes are going to be from 20 years plus in age, except for one. But yeah, so that was really my criteria.
All right,
that is a great criteria.
So you're gonna get us started with your rose.
Wait, hold on, real quick. So Sean says I cry in every Adam Sandler movie. Lies. Kevin's in the house. Kevin, there you go. It's hooked up. Thank you. Kevin was actually fixed my GameCube. It was destroyed, and he actually loaded like 100 games on it. So
Kevin is a beast. I spent about 2 hours on Beautiful Joe the other night, and I didn't even realize that it went by. Like, I was like, I forget.
So Kevin also modded one for Andy. So yeah, for all your modding needs, talk to Kevin. So Hey, Jessica's dropping her top 4. Grease. Sandy tells Danny, Tell me about it, stud, and puts out the cigarette. Dirty Dancing, Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner, Jerry Maguire, The Phone Call, and Steel Magnolias, Slap Weezer. I can almost guarantee that that's the only time you're going to see those 4 tonight on at least the panel. If my wife was on here, she'd be totally agreeing, Jessica. Jessica actually made this for me, this little sign right here. Thanks, Jessica. We love you. And let's get this thing going. She put some Benjamins. We'll talk those later. Ben, you're up. So number 4, you're Rosie. First step of the mountain. Where are you taking us? What emotional?
So number 4, I was so young when I saw this movie. I can't remember the first time I actually saw it. But whenever I think of the franchise, and this is probably true for most people, this is the first scene that comes to mind. It has survived over 45 years, and that is from Indiana Jones and him running from the boulder, that entire scene.
Yes.
So getting to the idol, way in the sand, trying to figure out how much it's gonna weigh. He gets the idol. He thinks he's golden. And then it starts going down, and now he has to run from the boulder. That whole scene, just the entire sequence, for me, that definitely makes the list.
Yeah, and there you go. You got it happening right here.
Yep, there you go.
Replace the idol with What a great scene.
So,
and Harrison Ford. Can we just give more love to Harrison Ford?
Yes, one of my favorite actors, for sure.
hey, 24 of you are in the chat. Make sure you hit the like before you head out. The like really helps later. And then drop your top 4. What's your top 4 favorite movie scenes? This is Ben's pick.
Also, what I'll say about this scene, and not just this scene, I think scenes there's a lot of scenes that like they started in this movie and they've been either parodied or recreated in a lot of things. And funny story, Kirk, you'll like this. I was watching Phineas and Ferb with my daughters last night.
Yes,
episode 4.
104 days.
There's like the mummy scene, and there's like a gumball machine, and it takes the riff on this whole boulder scene that it's chasing his sister, and so I watched it last night.
Yeah,
I didn't watch Raiders of the Lost Ark or whatever last night, but I did.
Sean, of course, is updating our knowledge that the guy who caught the idol, that's actually Doc Ock from Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's also Doc Ock in the newest Spider-Man too, Sean, as well. But yeah, that's really cool. I went to several lists over the week, or over the last night and a half, and there's Doc Ock right there, and yeah, and this was on almost every single one of them. Every.
It has so much range. I mean, it goes
There it is.
from
There it is.
every
Here's the
emotion
folder.
there is. Yeah.
Also, I've done, I've gone to Disney multiple times, and I always go and visit this.
Yeah.
And when I went to Disney on my senior trip, one of my best friends was in the little thing that they bring out. It was so awesome to watch him out there, kind of doing that stuff. So fun stuff.
I was actually just talking about this in my sermon Sunday about this scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, really?
Because we're just starting the book of Luke. And so I was talking about how you establish a character and kind of introduce everything about them, everything you really need to know. In this case, very much mostly non-verbally, but just everything you need to know about a character's personality in an establishing moment, like the first chapter of a story or a movie. And the essence of his character is just lived perfectly there. So yeah, great choice.
Awesome. Yeah.
Kevin's coming in hot with some Tropic Thunder. Patrick says he loves this thing at Disney World. Number 4, Charlton Heston riding on the Statue of Liberty in the surf and realizing they did it. They really did it. It's his number 4. Man, this is another great pick. This is a Benjamin for me. Both of them were Benjamins, actually. I had them on Benjamins. They're off my list. But if you guys know me, you've been around for a little bit of time, I always try and get my top 8, my favorite 8, and not have anybody pick any of them. And at least for the Benjamin side. So I'm still all 8. Neither one of those are in my top 8. But they're great picks. Andy, you're up, I think.
Yes, I am. Man, I like you alluded to before, I've been just wanting this episode to happen for quite some time. And the reason is, man, I am a sucker for moments, right? I think moments mean so much, in ministry and just everything. And that's all a scene is in a movie. Like it's just moments that get etched into my brain from a movie. They're iconic. They stand it's everything that the Rushmore Show is about, right? And also, if you know me, you know that I rewatch the movies that I love
over and over and over.
Yeah, I've seen scenes over and over and over and over and over and over again. So this list, honestly, my top 4 was pretty easy for me. I have a very long list of Benjamins. Ben and I were talking on the phone earlier, and he's like, yeah, I've got about 30. And I'm like, man, I love that, because like I called him last night and told him about it, and we already got 30. Like, there's just so much.
This one definitely could have a follow-up, like James says.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So this is just the taste of it, and then we can get a little more specific. But what I'll say too is that there are I tried tonight not to double down on a single movie, because honestly, there are some movies that are in my top 4 movies of all time that I could do like.
We can't have 8 quotes from Wayne's World tonight, Andy. We cannot.
From a certain movie, and I could do that, so I stayed away from that. I'm only going to do 1 scene per movie, but even that was difficult, right? How do you narrow it down there? These are ones that part of the reason my wife doesn't like to watch these movies specifically with me is because I just quoted from the beginning to the end, because I've seen it 100 times, right? So,
oh my gosh, I just added one, Andy, as you're talking.
So like, and that's the thing. Like, I didn't even really have to do research for this one. I just kept thinking, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that movie. What's about this?
Gosh, I can't believe I forgot this.
What a great nostalgia trip. So anyway, I don't know if that's necessarily a criteria, but it was a very easy list for me to put together. These are not going to surprise anybody who knows me. These picks. But they're just, for one reason or another, just so iconic, and they stand the test of time, and they're great. So I'm going to start my list off with one of my favorite. Now these 4 movies are probably in my top 4 movies, or maybe not top 4. They're definitely in my top 10 movies. Some of them are definitely top 4 movies, but this first one, 1986, this movie comes out. If you want to talk about quotable movies that I rewatch 100 times, funny story. And Kirk and Ben, you know this person, so it's really funny. When I was going to Argentina 2 years ago, you have your little tiny screen in front of you, and you only have certain movies to pick out of. This movie was on there, believe it or not. I was like, absolutely, we're watching this. And Pastor T is sitting next to me. She has no idea. She asks me, what movie are you watching? And I tell her what it is, and she says, I've never heard of that. I'm like, you wouldn't have heard of this. Of course you would. I don't know how you didn't hear about this movie. She watched the whole movie, and she said, I absolutely hated it.
Oh no!
So
sounds about right.
James, she's the care pastor on staff. It's a great lady, but it doesn't surprise me that was how she felt. 1986. If I love a good time, I love a party. I love down here in New Orleans going to a parade, and this is the parade scene from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
What? She hadn't seen Ferris Bueller?
Dude, never saw Ferris Bueller.
Oh my gosh!
I've seen it enough times for her and her whole extended family.
I can see her not liking that movie.
Right, it makes sense now that you know what movie I'm talking about. It totally is on brand. But I love this movie. Kurt, this is one that I could have picked 4 scenes from Ferris Bueller and easily have been totally fine with it. But if I'm thinking what is the most iconic scene, it's Twist and Shout. You start with Don Shane, you got Shout. What's really cool about this scene, obviously just the nostalgia of the movie itself, but it was actually filmed during an actual parade in Chicago. It was the Von Steuben Day Parade, so it wasn't created just for the movie. There was thousands of people in attendance for this who were actually just in attendance for this parade, not to be like an extra in the film or anything. Just really, really cool to see, how you kind of tie those two things together. Fantastic. She needs to stop and look around. Yeah, she should. But man, Twist and Shout, Don Shane, the parade. I love the part where Ferris's dad, it's literally the parade's happening right by where he works. He looks down, he doesn't see Ferris. He looks at his newspaper. Ferris passes by, and he looks back, and Ferris is gone. He just eludes him the whole time. Great use of song in that. Oh, and I forgot I'm supposed to be sharing these things as we do this, but we can show this. Let me share my screen real quick. Here's the Von Steuben Day Parade in Chicago as it happened.
Anyway, I'm hearing the music as we're going.
Cameron, and I may get dinged just for the video, but I didn't want to play the audio because I know that
Shake it up, baby, now.
everybody just sing it themselves. But yeah, so
Dunk a
what
shame.
do you guys think about this one? I'm gonna fast forward a minute. 'Cause it was-
Yeah, I mean, classic movie.
there it is.
Ferris Bueller is probably pushing one of the top movies we've ever talked about on the show for different reasons. Andy, you and I did back in the day when we did intros and we actually edited and did all that stuff. We did a Ferris Bueller
And it is so
intro.
better.
Swing better. Yeah, we did that intro. Actually, we did two of them with them, I believe, two Ferris Bueller's ones. And anyways, great show.
Score.
Another
0-0.
one on the list.
Who's winning? The Bears. Yeah, I love this movie. You guys like Ferris Bueller?
Oh, of
It's
course.
been so long since I've seen this movie.
But you have seen it. You're not like Pastor.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I honestly can't say if I've seen it all the way through. I've seen so much of it that it feels like I've seen it. But yeah,
I know I've seen it all the way through, but you're not wrong. I've probably seen it in parts, in
Right.
passing, even more than I've seen it.
It was like a TBS staple. Like
Yeah,
you just
exactly.
turned on TBS, you either got Beastmaster, The Braves, or this. And
Oh,
this is I love this movie. I love this movie so much. And we all aspired, not inspired, aspired to skip school and be amazing like this. And my parents wouldn't let me miss a day ever. So I was like, oh man, he's so cool.
Or we tried the trick to try to get the car to roll back the odometer. I don't. That's
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's another scene, when Cameron falls to the bottom of the pool.
Yeah. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. Well, Mr. Rennie, with your bad back, I don't suggest you throw anyone. I'm telling you, I'll quote this entire movie if you guys. I love it. If you have not watched it all the way through, please do yourself a favor. This movie is one of the movies that defines me, that like made me who I am.
Oh yeah.
For better or for worse, whatever that
And
is.
we have a lot of people in the chats we got to catch up with. So
Yeah.
that's
just want to say hello to John. That's Kettlebriar. He is one
What's
of
up,
the.
John?
He is actually James. You'd love this. He is the cosplay dad of all these conventions. He does all the cosplay contests. So James earlier on said that he used to do that as well. Kettlebriar, which is John, religious fanboy. He was on last week. He dropped his top 4. The Zombies Are Real, Scooby-Doo, On Zombie Island, the end of the Stand By Me, which is such a great scene. Is the end of the movie Your Name and Batman Beyond Roast the Joker, Batman Beyond Return the Joker. So those are all great picks. Some other stuff I saw. I got to see Spamalot on Tuesday in the Sanger. That's pretty amazing. He said we all know the lyrics. Abe Froman, Sausage King
of Chicago.
Yeah, Flipper Dudes laughing, or a Christmas Story for Christmas time. John Hughes was a genius. Yes, he was. We actually did a whole John Hughes show, and that was with Alex. Ben Stein was in it.
Bueller.
I want Ben Stein's money.
This movie, every scene could be mentioned tonight.
Yeah, man. So, gosh, what a great pick. And I didn't put any Ferris on my mountain today, but I do love that movie. T2 thumbs up in the lava is an epic scene. Is number 3 for Sean. Sean, you're jumping ahead. We got one more. My number 4. Here's my criteria. It's going to be a favorite movie of mine. It's going to be one of my favorites. It's got to feel nostalgic. It's got to feel iconic. If this is going to be the best moments of all time, it's probably a movie I think is one of the best of all time because it's one of those scenes that keeps me coming back, right? You guys, if you've been around, you know Andy and I's favorite scenes. So not all of these are going to be a surprise, at least in the top 4. But I do have some fun ones. I think maybe potentially in my Benjamins tonight. I'll start off the mountain. And by the way, I'm an 80s, 90s guy. Most of my movies are going to come from the most pivotal time in my life, being in high school, college. But some of these may have made their way out just a hair. And this, I think, is, if I'm scrolling, my top 4 at least. This is my newest movie of all of them tonight. And this movie came out in the year 2000. 2000, and it is probably, if not my favorite movie of all time, it is in the running. It is definitely on the mountain. We have never done top 4 movies, just movies of all time. But we have done this genre of movies, and it was there. So I'm going to go with the movie 2000 by... All right, here we go. 2000, director, Ridley Scott.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Hans Zimmer did the music. Here you go. It is... I named my dog after this. My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix legions, loyal servant to the true emperor Marcus Aurelius. And then he goes on to tell him, I will get my revenge either in this lifetime or the next. I'm going with Gladiator. The whole reveal scene that the Gladiator was not just a Spaniard, but he was actually the old general that is looking for revenge. This movie sends me on a roller coaster every time I watch it. My old lab, his name was Maximus. I absolutely, man, I want the mask. I want that helmet. But if you go top 4 monologues of all time, this probably makes my mountain, this little section of life. He's just, Maximus is just one of the baddest dudes on the planet to me. And one of my favorite movies. I love big epic fantasy style movies, and this is way up there for me. So I went with Gladiator.
I actually considered this scene.
Yeah, this is a great one. This is, I think, widely considered on a lot of people like top movie of all time.
Yeah, for
this
sure.
is up
So
there.
one of the crazy things is I watched all top 100 of this video on YouTube, top 100 movie scenes of all time, and this was number 100. And I had already had it on my mountain. I was like, man, I don't know if I want to watch the other 99 if this is 100. And I watched, and I was like, oh yeah, 99 fairly other great movies. And I was like, man, this list is huge. I love that. Flipper Dude says this is his doppelganger. If you've seen Steve, he does look similar. But there's a little bit more gray in there, I believe, there, Steve. Trying to think.
I like real life perspective.
But
In
gotta
the year
pick.
2000. I like
Yeah. I thought a little Conan O'Brien action right there.
Yeah.
I did not think this was released in the year 2000.
Yeah.
I thought this was earlier in the 90s.
And it's crazy because the sequel came out like 25 years later.
Which the sequel got a bad rap, but I hate it as much. You can't compare it to the first one for sure. But
I think it had to be 25 years. I think if Gladiator 2 came out in 2002, I think it would immediately have because it's just such an iconic movie. It's almost like
at the end of Con Air is a great scene. Speaking of Nicolas Cage, Spider Noir was amazing. Just
I haven't finished it. Got 2 episodes to go.
Nicolas Cage, man.
He's so Nicolas Cage cheesy in it, and it's awesome. Me and Cannon watched it the other day. But so I went with this. Definitely a favorite movie of mine. Definitely a scene that I just get pumped up.
Yeah,
and I can watch this movie. I could keep this movie on like a 24-hour, just whatever, and just have it playing in the background and being like, oh yeah, there you go. But anyways, that's a good start.
I was in a weird mood when I saw it in 2000, and for some reason I came away thinking it was overhyped. And we actually did a church film event and revisited it at the 25th anniversary, and I repented. So that is great. I maybe I still had some of my younger cynical. Everybody thinks it's cool, so I have to be slightly against it.
I hear that.
Yeah. I will say I've never. And you bring up a good point, and someone that has been a movie critic and still kind of does that. It kind of amazes me sometimes what the critic will critique, because I'm like, man, gosh, just relax a little bit. That was a fun movie, And a lot of times it's more of the art side of things, the script, the writing, the preparation. And to me, I just want to be like, man, I had fun watching that. And this is just one of those movies for me that will always be in my library. It just will. Hello, Patrick McCaskill. Welcome in. Patrick CQC says, Nicolas Cage in Spider-Noir is the most Nicolas Cage role ever. It was. It's fun.
True.
And Sean says, put the bunny in the box. Well, Andy, we're through our first round. Now we don't need to do criteria, James. You can just jump into your next one. This is TJ Jazzy Jeff, number 3 on the mountain. We kind of see where you're kind of going with this sadness. Let's see. You said you were going to kind of bounce around a little bit, so I'm thinking you're coming out of there. What you got?
Well, so you mentioned monologue scene, which is appropriate because that's where we're going here. And whereas my first one was more of an aspirational scene there with Optimus Prime, this one was something that hit me a little bit later in life. And it was the first time I think I had a morally gray film that was wrestling with fatalism, or maybe what Ecclesiastes would call life under the sun. And I didn't see this film when it first came out in the 80s. I didn't see it until 1992. And I saw the director's cut, and it became my favorite film of all time for undisputed for 25 years. I think it matured me as a human because it actually has in its climax a scene where the protagonist is helpless and the antagonist saves his life, and then gives a dying speech that makes you realize the antagonist maybe actually is the protagonist, or at least sympathetic. And this is the rooftop finale scene of Blade Runner.
Yes.
With a speech given by Roy Batty, actually just 3 sentences, the Tears in Rain monologue.
Yes.
And so most people are going to, it's funny, even probably less people have seen this than Ferris Bueller. So who knows if people have seen this, but.
So I actually watched this scene 2 or 3 times last night as a reminder because I haven't seen the original in a while. I did watch the newer Ryan Gosling version not too long ago, but I enjoy Blade Runner, and this scene is kind of cool. It is essentially he's like gonna be forgotten like Tears in Rain or whatever it was, and it's just really cool.
Because here your hero is actually gonna lose. He's lost. He's helpless, and the villain grabs him. By the way, with a nail pierced through his hand. That's not incidental. And a dove in the other hand. And then, so an act of grace saves his life. And then he sits down and just delivers this tearful speech about it. It's the first time he's not just talking about dying. He's talking about what was the point of living. Wow. And where are all his what is the point of all the memories that we have? And he says, all these moments will be lost in time. Like tears in rain. Just a beautiful visual metaphor there. A rainy rooftop, neo-noir landscape, and then he dies.
And a couple things. Number 1, this is another Ridley Scott movie, but two, I think Rutger Hauer is criminally underrated for an actor. I love 100%. I loved what was it? Blind Fury? Was it Blind Fury? As a kid, man, I say a kid, as like a teenager. Yeah. Just wielding that cane of the with the sword in it. Oh yeah, Lady Hawk. I mean, there's so many other amazing moments, but this is one of the scenes that he's known best for. And good.
A lot of critics call it, perhaps it was one guy, Mark Rowlands, just said it's perhaps the most moving death soliloquy in cinematic history. So it didn't just have an impact on me. And it was my favorite film until 2017 when, as you mentioned, Blade Runner 2049 came out. So
nice. I will say this movie doesn't look like it's from 1982. You know what I mean? It's one of it feels way further advanced than what it is. Yeah. And hey, our second shout out to Harrison Ford. How about that?
That's right.
We got 2 shout outs.
And rightfully so. Flipper Dude says The Hitcher. That's another great one.
Yes.
The Hitcher is fantastic.
All the way up to even Batman Begins.
Yep. Absolutely. But yeah, Rutger Hauer, man, what a Is he still around? Did he pass?
He passed.
Yeah, 2019.
My wife's first crush, by the way.
Wow. Wow.
Walter.
It says he said he had 170 roles over 50 years.
Wow.
That's a busy dude. Yeah, it is another Ridley Scott. Sean, I just mentioned that. So good stuff. Good stuff. All right, Ben.
All right.
Where you
So,
going?
yeah, my number 3 didn't kick off my childhood obsession of a certain toy, but it certainly fueled the fire. And when I first watched it was shortly after it came out on VHS, and in the early mid 90s, probably 94, 95 or something like that. And first couple of times I watched it, it gave me nightmares, especially this particular scene. And that is the precedent-setting introduction of the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. Definitely an icon for me.
Awesome.
I love
This
this.
is an amazing scene.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I was around 6 or 7 when I first watched it, and from then on, once I watched it, that was the toy line that I had to have for like the next 3 or 4 Christmases. And as they moved into the second movie, Jurassic Park: Lost World, and everything, and I mean, I had everything. I'm actually looking at the Jurassic Park shelf in this room here, which is behind the camera, looking at that very T-Rex.
Excellent.
So
My
the scene
favorite-
we're talking about is this the when the T-Rex is introduced?
Yeah, T-Rex is introduced. He pops the lines on the fence and starts
okay.
flipping the cars. Yeah,
Traumatizes the kids, eats the
that's
lawyer.
right. Yeah,
Kid, guy goes to the toilet. He's like, man, maybe he's got to go.
Yep.
But the vibrations of the
the
material.
lead up
yeah.
to it is just incredible.
And then don't not to mention you have the lamb that falls on what you're about to see, I guess, on the hood.
The lamb leg.
And then the chase scene was pretty epic too, because that comes up right after it. This honestly, this was my number 9. This was in case you guys pick one. This is coming in hot. So I lost my number 9 today. I'm still top 8. I had this though. My favorite scene is this, obviously, because I remember the just eyes wide open moment of seeing the eyeball come down, and he when he breaks the lines, he's like eating something, and he's eating the lamb, and it shows him kind of chewing it, and then all the kids are like, don't move. But another scene from this movie, it's probably not going to make anybody's today. I'll just throw it out there. Veteran move here.
There's the water.
Scared me. There it is. Scared me to death. Matter of fact, so Kevin's on this. We've talked about Jurassic Park before. Kevin, I am fairly certain that me and you and maybe Charlie went and saw this movie. I think it was with you. Hey, there's Izzak. Hey, man, I hope everything's all right. Izzak was supposed to be the guest today. Izzak, drop your top 4, dude. The scene where the Velociraptor jumps and the kids are making their way in the rooftop, the ceiling.
Yeah.
In the theater, it was filmed so well. I mean, I remember everybody just like laying back, and that wasn't even 3D. And I love this movie. I remember going home and like waking my mom up and being like, "Mom, wake up!" Which she really wasn't into movies too much. I was like, "Dude, I just saw one of the greatest movies I've ever seen in my life. It was so great." But anyways, such an awesome.
The clever girl scene where the raptor ambushes Muldoon.
Boom.
Oh, the
Good
Dilophosaurus. It was a Dilophosaurus, the dude with the
Dilophosaurus, with Ned.
Yeah, with the shaving cream guy.
Yep.
Yeah,
that was freaky.
I have a hologram like baseball card of that scene somewhere. Probably in pretty good condition too.
I think it was NECA that did a couple years back. I want to say it was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. They actually made the shaving cream canister, and if you turn it, it's got an action figure of Nedry in his raincoat outfit from the movie.
Nice.
It's actually sitting on my desk in the other room.
But Ben, I'm with you. If anybody asks me, like Jurassic Park, what is the of all Jurassic Park world, all the sequels, like what is the thing? I was a T-Rex kid from age 5. They could not make, like, I know they tried to make Velociraptor happen, but T-Rex is
the T-Rex is the main character of the movie.
And this scene will forever for me be the scene.
That scream right there. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So good. So good. Yeah. All right, man. Wow.
I love it.
Andy, you got to beat these.
All right. Well, this one is not nearly as intense as the T-Rex scene or some of these other ones that we're talking about, but it is definitely nostalgic. I think that this scene, for me, captures what nostalgia is, right? We do this nostalgia therapy thing. We're here every Thursday night and we have the little theme song and we jokingly call it nostalgia therapy. But nostalgia is a very therapeutic thing. It can be, right? Like looking back at stuff and just reminiscing and all that. Of course, we don't want to just continually live there because we know, we have to progress. However, it is fun to do this. This scene, the way that it is just shot, is one of the more beautiful scenes that are out there. In fact, it is shot in a way, and I believe it's intentional, to make it look like a nostalgic memory, right? Because that's what this movie's all about. It's all about nostalgia and reflecting back. And Kirk, if we're going to crush more tonight, I think this is going to be the one. I'm going to go. We're into the year 1993 now. 1993. Great movie year, by the way. We just mentioned Jurassic Park, right? So 1993, this movie comes out. Man, it's a beautiful scene. And I'm going to go, we're coming up on 4th of July. So let's do the 4th of July scene from The Sandlot. This is the scene where the fireworks are happening. It's shot. It almost looks like a dream, like the way that it's filmed. Let's show this one so everybody can see. This is the scene. America the Beautiful is playing. This is Americana, right? This is a scene where, they're going to get their buddies and hey, look, it's night. We're going to go play ball.
Hey, Andy, don't play it so long because every time you play one, it's kicking us out.
Is it really? Oh, well.
Yeah. It's okay. I mean, it's okay if they kick us out, but we'll lose the feed for them, the community.
Well, anyway. This is the scene right here. The fireworks playing baseball scene. I absolutely love this one. It's like a dream. It's kind of a lot of parts are in slow motion. They're running out to the field. Everybody's grilling hot dogs. I mean, look at that spread right there. You just grab a bite of a hamburger real quick and take off running because, we got to eat, but baseball is what it's all about. So I love this scene. This is Americana. This is nostalgia. Look at that. I mean, how many people wanted to run through with all the fireworks, the slow motion, everything. Beautiful scene. America the Beautiful is playing. This is what it's all about. I love this scene.
Yeah, you made it. So it didn't kick us out that time.
Yeah.
Hey, so
fireworks is probably
this is on my Benjamin. It's not my scene. It's not my scene. It's on my Benjamins. Still not in the top 8, but I will say this is a fantastic scene. And with Ray Charles. Perfect scene. I actually watched this movie on Memorial Day. It came on after something I was watching, and I was like, I'm just going to leave it on. My Cannon and I watched all the way through, and then after that, another baseball movie came on. We watched that, and then Bad News Bears came on, and we watched about 10 minutes of it, and we were done. And I was like, we're not going to watch any more of this, and let's move back. And so, we had some good times. But this is to me the best 4th of July scene and 4th of July movie. Obviously, there's a couple like Independence Day and stuff that you could watch, and Born on the 4th of July and all that stuff. But this, to me, is the 4th of July movie, and just really for this scene. And he says, "This is the only time we played at night because the fireworks lit it up the sky." Such a great scene. I got 5 of my guys to autograph a poster for my daughter. Really, 5 of the guys. That's really cool, Steven. Good pick. How about you guys? Do you like this movie? Do you like baseball? Do you like this scene?
I like baseball, but I'm embarrassed to say I don't think I've seen this since the '90s. So
Wow.
it's the perfect time of year to revisit since we got 4th of July coming up. So I may need to, on that recommendation, for that scene.
Surprisingly, this is the scene I thought of when I thought of movie scenes, and it's not my number one, but because of the movie, and that'll make sense later. But this is what I thought.
And I mean, I just watched it recently, so it did come up, as well as a couple other scenes here. That are in this movie. There are several really good scenes in this movie. Peppercorn and the Beast, and there's so many other good stuff. But yeah, this is the main one for me.
Yeah.
Flight of the Navigator, also a July 4th movie. Retro Rewind.
I'll have to lean back in and check that out again.
Remember that?
There's really only one 4th of July movie, and that's Independence Day.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Which has another great monologue in that movie. There's a great monologue in this movie for sure.
Yes, one of the best.
If any film made me patriotic, that would be Independence Day for sure.
Yeah, I did love that movie, and I still do love that movie.
Will Smith will do that to him, man. Will Smith will do that.
So Andy, I mean, I'll jump in. I pretty close. We're kind of on the same wavelength for this one, but I want a different movie. I did, and I kind of have been giving it away all night. I'm going 1989, and this movie is one of the first movies that I can remember of me just loving the game of baseball, but every time I watch it now, I can't help but cry at this scene. And it's the epic scene in Field of Dreams where Ray asks his dad before he goes back away, "Hey, Dad, want to have a catch?" And let me tell you something. If I had one dream in my life that I could go back and redo, would be to see Dad out in the front yard and say, "Hey, before you head out, you want to have a catch?" Gosh, this scene hits me in the feels every time. I love the whole movie, but when it gets to that part, I am beside myself. I watched the scene 2 or 3 times, and as it was loading, I just went to the scene the other day, and as it was loading, I was like, "Oh man, I feel the tears already." Baseball is such a big part of my family's life. I love this movie, and my dad was just so instrumental with me. And honestly, he never got to meet my son, and now I get to play catch with him. I'd really have him throw catch with my dad would be, double down, triple down. So I'm going Field of Dreams. Hey, Dad, want to have a catch?
Yeah, this is a great one for sure. And Retro just threw it out there. Francisco has not seen Field of Dreams. So,
Wow.
I mean, that's James Earl Jones, Kevin Costner. It's just a really good movie. And now they're actually doing the Field of Dreams as like a part of the major league schedule.
I absolutely love that, and I'm so glad that's become a thing. In a cornfield. I mean, how cool is that?
In the cornfield. I know they played 2 or 3 of them. One was the Cubs, and so the original was the White Sox Yankees. So that was
and when they were walking out of the cornfield, like the movie, that's how they came out. Dude, what a beautiful thing.
Yeah, man. Dad, want to have a catch? What you said? Your finger was a. What? No reason not to see it. Would like to at some point. I don't know what is happening.
It's a great movie. I will say, there's a lot of great baseball movies, and Patrick threw out another one. He said, "There's no crying in baseball." I mean, there's another one. We could do a ton of baseball movie things. In fact, we did a baseball movie episode, so that's been a while. But yeah, this is a great. What do you guys like? Field of Dreams? Have you seen this one? Are you hanging out with friends?
Been a while since I've seen it. I'm not a baseball guy. I'm a football guy, so it doesn't resonate quite as much with me. But yeah, definitely have seen
Football
it.
doesn't quite have the nostalgia. I don't know, and I think I enjoy football more. I'm the same way, but baseball just has something that's deeply nostalgic about it. I don't know what, maybe because it's been around since the year 400. So I mean, that could be part of it.
I figured out. I was trying to put my finger on.
Now I'm getting it. They're exactly. I was like, I didn't say that, and my mind wasn't there. But yes, that is a scene from that movie with James Earl Jones.
I put my I became a baseball fan in the late 90s when our team up here in Seattle, the Mariners, actually had about the closest they ever got to, making it to the World Series. And so
116 wins. Yeah.
So I became a fan in the late 90s. So all these baseball movies you're talking about in the earlier 90s, I liked, but I wasn't quite as into them because I wasn't quite as much into baseball. So I feel like now, that's the problem. I feel like I need to go back and watch some of these baseball movies because I watched them before I was a baseball lover. So I've sort of missed the boat on those. So I think they would move up several notches in my mind if I watched them now.
Watch the movie, see if you cry like me.
I will just say this. I grew up playing baseball. My family, my dad, we all just played baseball. And I remember watching this movie as a kid, and I really didn't love it. I mean, it's not like a kid's movie. But watching it probably as a young adult, like 18 to 20, it just hit different. It just really did. And then now seeing it after my dad's passed, and he used to talk about some of those guys, the Shoeless Joe. My dad was born in the 40s, right? So he was a kid, and, Shoeless Joe had, for us, it'd be like a guy in the 80s or 90s for him as a kid. And so baseball's just been a big part of our family, and I had to have at least one. This is the one I went with. But hey, we're at halftime. Let's do some commercials. Yeah, let's do some commercials. So we're going to highlight a member of the week. We're going to highlight a member of the week. We're going to highlight a culture box of the week. And before we do that, while Andy, you are pulling all those things up, I'm sure you want to get the website up, Andy. I will talk about this really quickly because we have a friend on the channel today that's in this. And it needs to be updated apparently because I put some things that are different. But Director of Christian Creators, the directory. This is something I decided to put together to hand out at St. Tammany Collectors Con, at some of these other big conventions that we go to. And what happens is, as a Christian, a lot of times we'll see people at the table or after we've preached a nerdy sermon, and people will be like, I didn't realize I could dress like a furry and love Jesus, or I didn't realize I could love G.I. Joe or Power Rangers or whatever the guest is that time, and still love Jesus. I was told, you have to get rid of the worldly things, and I just kind of go, well, here's 140, 50 people that say differently, and here you can have this. And if you open up in here, it's just a bunch of web pages and things to go to. The one thing I will ask, you can find it on our webpage, which I'm pretty sure Andy's pulling up right now, and you can download it for free. If you get one of these copies, by all means, go to everybody, share them, talk to them, and if you go to them, just say where you found them. If you would, I'd appreciate if you just say, hey, found you guys because of the Rushmore Show. Not because I need recognition. I would just like people to know that it's working, and it'd be really cool. You can also drop a prayer request right there, and right under the prayer request, if you're on a laptop, there it is. If you're on a phone, you'll have to download it. It's right there. There's a little link. But yeah, there it is. And you can see 140 plus folks. The other thing that you can do is see what we're all about with Reboot, and you can see some of our sermon messages. The newest 3 or 4 are not on there, but there you go. Another thing that you can do, and Andy, I've already dropped this week's, so you can actually, I dropped one extra, which is next week's on accident. That Paper Mario was supposed to be for next week, but we are in week 23 of the devotion. and you can go look up all 8, I guess, for this week's message, and you can see it. You get what game we're talking about. The geekery is all about that specific game. The gospel is how that relates to the game. And then I challenge you with a level up challenge, a warp zone round, and then we can pray about it. And that's this week's Devo. That's also for free. Hopefully, eventually, much like our friend James, we'll have those in print someday. And I've got some of our friends that are actually in print right here. I need to get James's book for sure. But here's Hector Mire's 2 of his 20 books. Then you got this one right here, which is Finding God in Video Games. This is a really thick, everyday book, and this is what inspired me to do the full year. Theirs is a little bit different, but Stephen Noel. And I haven't. Oh, I put this one up too. This is Tony Talavera from Nerd of Godcast, which Francisco's in the chat. Francisco's wife is in here. I think twice actually. Has 2 of them in here for this Nerd of Godcast. But yeah, there's some of the ones that have kind of inspired us. Oh, there you go, Andy. I'll give you a little time. Andy's got one called Bible is working on. I think he's almost done. We hopefully will have those in print for you out there too. Highly recommend James's book. Oh yeah. Here's Andy's book. Andy, you talk about it.
Well, I'm a big metalhead, and I think the Bible's pretty metal. So I'm doing a 31-day devotional about what the most metal stories I found in the Bible. This is my one that I have teaser up here. As Elijah versus Baal's prophets bringing fire down from heaven, and all these false prophets. Anyway, really heavy stuff. And, I give a little devotional with some heavy questions at the end. Just some fun stuff to do. That really kind of started because as a youth pastor, I got tired of hearing my students say that it's boring to read the Bible. So I wanted to give some of the most metal stories that are out there and show them that it's pretty epic. So we got some really good ones. I just recently wrote. I've been on a pause because of moving. I need to pick it back up. But the last one I wrote was about collecting the Philistines' foreskins. So, hey, who says that the Bible's boring? I mean, come on. A lot of fun stuff.
Yeah, so let's, with that being said, let's highlight our people of the week. And since Francisco is in the chat, let's do Francisco, the Retro Rewind podcast. For member of the week, let's do Dark Link. We haven't done that in a minute, and I haven't seen him in a while. I wish he'd come back around. And then for our coffee, let's share our favorite coffee.
Yes, absolutely. Let's check out Francisco, not Roy, at
and PaulJPowers.com.
Paul J. Powers at Retro Rewind Pod.
Every other week, join the Retro Rewind Pod as they travel back 15 or more years along the entertainment space-time continuum in their mission to review movies and games, establishing what is still worth your time today. Expect fun banter and trivial insights from Francisco, Paul, and rotating guest hosts who are all out of time.
Step into the shadows with Dark Link's Gaming, a retro-fueled live stream experience where Zelda reigns, chaos is random, and every win or loss is part of the adventure. From Ocarina of Time rando runs to deep dives into retro and modern classics, this channel is built for die-hard fans who love the grind. Join Dark Links Gaming at youtube.com/@DarkLinksGaming and connect on Discord or Instagram at AdventDarkLink.
Let's face it, at-home coffee can be pretty stale. Coffee at home doesn't have to be boring. The Village Coffee is here to deliver the flavor. The Village Coffee roasts coffee every week and sells online. Go to villagebeans.com to order your coffee today and use discount code RUSHMORE for free shipping.
Man, they got a lot of talk about 3, 4, 5 skins up in the chat. Didn't know that they had that many skins, and Davey thinks we were talking about Fortnite, but it's different kind of skins. Rhonda, we would love to have Refinery Bricks Vend at Louisiana RetroCon in August, which is back here. That's a lot of skins. But yeah, so with that being said, thank you all for being a part of this. And if you want to be a member of the show, it's real easy. You can go on the YouTube channel and we'll make a video of your neck of the internet and we will play it on our podcast. The plan coming up is to play more than one going forward so that we can get it, because we have so many members and we really feel like we got to honor everybody. So we got to get those in there. Matter of fact, Davey's got a video that we need to play too. So with that being said, let's get back in the show. And James, you're up. This is Link. We just played Dark Link. But what is your number 2 favorite video scene of all time, movie scene of all time?
Well, so this one's going to go a bit different probably from the last
do
one. I grew up a comic book nerd. I mean, my second book was all about comic book movies. And my first memory, actually, the very earliest memory I can have is my dad rushing me home to see the premiere of the Incredible Hulk TV show. So I was a Marvel guy on that. I watched it. I love everything, but definitely more of a Marvel guy than DC. And the last 2 decades have been dominated by superhero cinema. And so one of these movie scenes was always going to be a comic book movie. So, and this one to me was a payoff to all the groundwork laid, well, honestly, since 2000 with the very first X-Men film. And really, I think it was the focus of 21st century franchise-focused cinema at all. This is the moment that punctuated all of that. Also, I think it represents the undisputed franchise achievement in all of history up to this point, both in terms of financial and film numbers. And what really made this probably the biggest to me was it wasn't just my emotional response. I think at 53 years old, this was maybe the most powerful audience response I have ever experienced altogether in a theater. And so that has to go to Captain America being worthy, all the way to saying Avengers Assemble in Avengers Endgame. I know some people are going to say it's the portal moment. That's the end of the scene. I have never seen a theater come as alive as when Captain America captures that hammer. I know some people probably say it's the snap when Iron Man saves the day, but by no coincidence at all whatsoever, one of the first comics I ever bought with my own money was a copy of Captain America. I think it was 185. And so that moment when Cap pays off that moment of he's there to do it all day. He's got Thor's hammer paying off in Avengers Age of Ultron. Like 22 films, the culmination of a journey nobody else has ever even attempted in film history. That long, that connected. And the audience you couldn't even hear the next 5 minutes of the movie. I had to see it again because there was screaming and cheering and clapping and probably some tears. But so I got to go. I think you even put that as one of the promo things. I was like, oh, well, you called it. That was going to be mine. So that is my link.
Well, let me tell you why it called it is because usually while I go build that up, I have it usually uses some of my picks. And this was my number 5. This is the very first. Actually, it was on my mountain, and I lightly got nudged off as I got closer. Not because it's not amazing. It could easily be my George. It could be easily. I was in the theater as well, and remembering, looking around, and what's crazy is there's some movies you go watch, and you can watch it on opening night. It can be packed to the gills, and then there's other movies you go to open night, and it's a full experience. You're not really going to watch the movie. You're going to see the cosplay and things that are happening, that people showing up with their $500 popcorn buckets and everything that's going on. And when I went to this one, I remember just the eruption and everything that you mentioned. He is worthy, the portal moment, the culmination of just super back through the portal that you thought may have been gone, or new ones that haven't been a part of the thing yet, or they were just in another movie and they're like, oh, they're here, and just mind-blowing part that kind of put the whole bow on, the Marvel run of that first portion. And I agree. This is definitely needs to be on the list. Andy's not a huge superhero guy. We have actually superhero movies coming in the next round in November already booked. So Andy, I don't know that this would be
Let me tell you why real quick. And I like the ones I've seen. My problem is, for one reason or another, I got so far behind on the MCU movies that it almost feels like impossible at this point. You know what I mean? Like it's like I'm just gonna like chalk that up as an L, and it just is what it is. I've seen a handful of them, and I enjoy them. But even on top of that, to be like real, like, and I'm so in the minority here, and I understand it. I get it. I'm not saying I have a popular opinion at all. I just don't like. I like the movie while I watch it, but nothing is like I'm going to go rewatch that movie. Like I'm like that was okay.
It's the culmination of all of the movies.
I understand this scene is
that's the only reason it pays off.
I think that's cool. My problem is I have to see all of them to really understand it, and I just didn't. And or maybe not.
You could skip Captain Marvel, but other than that.
Yeah. To really appreciate it, I guess, to the extent that I should, I probably should see all of them, and I just don't have hours to do that.
Because you're on the 31st time of The Office.
Yeah, I mean, if I do that, I've got to decommit to watching The Office again, and
the 62nd time of Parks and Rec.
Yeah, you're right. So.
Whereas my wife and I just watched through the Infinity Saga last year again, so I was like but it's a 22 movie commitment, right? That's a big deal.
I can either watch 22 movies or I can watch Parks and Rec 15 more times. It's like I've got to pick one or the other, and I just it is what it is. I don't know.
I would not. I'm there with you on that one. Parks and Rec.
Priorities says that's exactly right.
MCU has been trying to top that scene since Endgame. And
I'll tell you what I do really like is some of these kind of like outside of the MCU kind of superhero, like I'm obviously, it's being DC. I really like this Robert Pattinson, the Batman, where we're going with this. I enjoy it because it's totally different than what you see in other things. I may be getting the minority, but I love it. I'm looking forward to this next one. Whenever it does happen,
you're showing your hand for the superhero top four. And
well, I'm not saying that would necessarily make my top four. I mean, I like some other Batman movies that are very unpopular too.
I saw the Batman episode.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, well, there you go. So you know where I stand.
Chill out.
I forgive you, but
if that scene doesn't make it tonight, Andy, we're not friends anymore. Chill out. Yeah. Good stuff, man. All right. Well, I agree. It sounds like you agree too, Ben.
Oh yeah.
I know you're kind of into this scene. Tell me about this a little bit, and then jump into yours.
So Cap, I mean that's been my favorite character outside of G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe's been my number one, but Captain America, that's iconic, and then just the payoff. I remember being in the theater in 2019 when that came, and Thor and Thanos are going at it, and you see Mjolnir start to rise, and you can just feel the electricity from Thor's hammer coming through the screen into the audience, the entire scene, and I mean it truly incredible scene.
Yeah.
So my number two is hearkening back to the 80s, 1987, arguably, in my opinion, one of the most well-rounded and best movies ever done, and that is Princess Bride, specifically the Inigo Montoya versus the Wesley sword fight scene. That just entire montage, him climbing up the cliff,
switching hands.
the Spaniard offering the rope and Wesley, denying it until he hears the oath, the swear, and then just says, "Throw me the rope," and then giving him time to rest once he gets up on the cliff, and then they're both fighting with the wrong hand, and the dominance shifts multiple times, and then the Spaniard obviously switches hands and it goes along with, "I know something you don't." And the whole interaction between them, the end result, how it plays out, the ramifications of it, the entire thing is
I know for a fact, and I see Kirk already running to get a prop. This isn't on at least his Benjamins. If you didn't at least take a Benjamin, I'd be surprised today.
Yes.
If there's a more fan of Princess Bride than Kirk, I haven't seen many of them. He talks about this movie quite a bit. In fact, this is a movie that's on our list to play for our kids. I don't know how much they'll really care for it, but we're like, hey, introduce them to it. Great movie, great scene. My name is Inigo and Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
And what's a tragedy is Cody Avilalamont has never seen this movie.
That tracks. Oh. That feels like
just a crying shame.
Is he just resisting it now? Like he has every opportunity to watch it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's not like there's two of these movies that he's.
This is one of those movies that I don't remember when I started to love it. Like I didn't really remember watching it as a kid. I don't just one day.
A young adult, yeah.
I just remember one day I'm a fan. I love this. Yep. And I don't remember the first time I watched, the second time, the 10th time. I love the whole Fred Savage scene of Columbo reading it, Peter Falk, and reading that. My dad loved Columbo. That just rings in my head. And I love the whole storytelling. And I think, and I've written a fun book that I haven't put out yet. I actually told my wife the other day, I was like, you need to read this book so I can get it edited and do what I want with it. But I've written a fantasy, almost allegory that I want to be a 3-part thing. And where it stemmed from is watching Princess Bride and watching Peter Falk read to his grandson and me reading to my kids. But I didn't want to read to my kids, so I made the story up as we went and just let them be a part of it. And that's where this scenes come out. I love this. I love fantasy films. I had a scene from this potentially, but it wasn't this one. This was the one that was in all the lists. But there was another scene or two actually that I could think of that I potentially
there's
would have.
Several. Yeah, there's several
later. But highly quotable, great movie. Fantasy films, it's in there for me. Comedies, it's in there for me. I just love this whole story. So I'm glad you put it here so we can talk about it.
This was another one of those where I actually, at college, I discovered it in college, and all the freshman girls were watching it nonstop, which kind of made it a turn off for a while. It seemed like this annoying thing that was always on. So I had to actually sit down and watch it. I probably saw bits and pieces of it. I saw it out of order before I ever saw it in order. Finally sat down and watched it in order and fell in love with it. So yeah, it's a great choice.
Yeah. PaulJPowers.com is in contention for biggest Princess Bride fan. He is. He's really big.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome in, Jason Tuttle. My absolute favorite movie scene is the original Highlander when his wife is passing from old age and he's still young in Queens. Who Wants to Live Forever is playing in the background. Brings a tear to my eyes every time. Hey, Jason, hopefully you're still here. I do want to say welcome to the Summit Squad. Summit Squad is just who we call our friends. So here you go. Now, Jason, you're on the Facebook side. I can't send you a wrench on the Facebook side, but if you come on over, if you want to the YouTube side, definitely will.
Jason was a vendor this past STCC.
Yes, Legos had an awesome booth.
Yeah, he had a great booth over there for sure.
The
purchase that we made was at his booth for my kids. We bought those little Nido squishy thingies. So that was
Francisco brings up a good point. He's excited to see Henry Cavill's Highlander take.
There can only be one Highlander.
With Russell Crowe.
Also, I heard that he's potentially going to do a Voltron take. That's in the mix too, Henry Cavill. So good pick. Inconceivable that was just picked right now. Good pick. All right, Andy.
Yes. All right, the one and the two, Kirk, you know me, so I'm not going to shock you.
All right, I know one of them. I probably know the other one too.
Yeah, you'll at least like not be surprised by the movie. I could pick any scene from these. My number two. These next two are in my top two movies of all time, and they just interchange based on my my mood. Whatever you could say, 1A, 1B. If I'm feeling a little bit more serious, I'm going to go with this one. Every single time this movie is on, even if it's halfway through, I'm stopping what I'm doing and I'm watching this movie. I can't tell you how many times I've seen this one. Great cast. Another movie, again, just like everything that I'm picking today, and many of the movies we're talking about today, I could pick any number of scenes from this movie and it would be iconic. But when I think of movie, when I think of the climax of this movie, when I think of the payoff for everything that's been leading up to it, when I think of the buildup and then the payoff, right? It just everything about this. It's this one scene. There's really the character's not saying any words, but he's giving every ounce of emotion of what this moment means. I'm going 1994, I believe. I'm going with an adaptation of a Stephen King novel. I'm going Shawshank Redemption. Andy Dufresne makes it out of the sewer. It's pouring down raining. He rips his shirt off and he's looking up at the sky with the zoom out. That scene is one of the greatest scenes in movie history. I mean, everything, like we said, the build up, the 20 years that it took him to devise this plan and to work it out, to slowly chip away at the wall and cover it with his poster and then just the scene where he's on top, he's finally made it all the way through, and then he's banging on the sewer pipe to break an entry into it, but he's waiting for the thunder to happen for that to go on. The crawling through, the narration that's happening from Morgan Freeman during that whole time, and then like we said, he crawls through however many football fields he says it is worth of the worst smelling, and then it's just that moment of I'm free. What an iconic scene. Easily one of my top two favorite movies of all time. Again, I can mention so many different scenes. We'll do a veteran move here when he goes in and he sneaks in and he plays the opera music, and he's just that great scene. We can talk about so many different things that are happening. The suds on top of the roof scene, just great stuff. But I'm going to go with this scene. Andy Dufresne finally escapes from prison, and this is just a great movie. It's so much so that I'm going to go put it on probably when I'm
going to tell you this right now. I missed getting it for you.
Oh yeah, it's at my office. I know where you're going. The Zihuatanejo scene when he finally gets out there. I mean, the grocery store bagging scene. I mean,
so we have a connection with this. My wife did a ministry, and this was actually buried in the backyard of that ministry when we both went through it, and you had to dig it up. Just like in the movie where Andy finds the box. Not Andy, but Red finds the box that Andy left. You open it up, and there is a letter in here to me. You have one to you, obviously, about things in ministry, which is just amazing how you can use. And James, you know how this is. Everything is a really good parable if you look deep enough. But this is an excellent movie as far as parable goes, and the redemption story and just friendship and relationships and all the things that he does in this movie. This is the culmination. I don't have this on my mountain because I knew you were going to have it. That is the only reason it didn't make it, and I wanted to have something else different than you, because you've mentioned it before. This is your 1A, 1B favorite movie, so I know where you're going next, which I can't figure out which one you're going to pick in that movie, but listen, here's the thing. this is a great scene. Him climbing through that sewage pipe and just the rain scene alone, right? As he's pulling his clothes off and he's just like he's doing that whole number. But there's so many other scenes, right? Where he puts his feet up and he plays the music, right? Yep. Where Red and him meet on the boat. But my favorite scene of all time is when Red writes his name next to the oh my gosh, I got chills right now thinking about it. That is so, it's just such a crazy movie. How awesome and things. The sharing the beers on the top of the roof, the dropping the dust all the way through, him throwing the rock through the poster. It's just an amazing movie. And there's
salvation comes from within, and the hammer is in the Bible. I mean, golly, it's such a good movie.
Not. Yeah, I knew you were going to have it. I was prepared, except I didn't have my box ready. So,
funny story about that movie. That was another one where I've been doing film theology stuff for 25 years, and at some point it became apparent. Popcorn Theology guys, when the two original hosts had me on, we realized I'd never seen it, and so I actually didn't. We actually only broke that last year, so I only saw this. So I knew the story, I knew all the parallels, but I'd never actually seen it. And it sort of became a running gag. So if I ever saw it, that would ruin the gag. That the film and theology guy had never actually seen one of the most spiritually metaphor, sort of parallel visual. His almost rebirth as he comes out of the sewer and the rain's washing him clean. So we broke the streak for a special episode last year just because because I have to see it. We can't keep the running gag that I've never seen it going forever. So
I've actually never seen it.
No. Then next meeting. Hey, we have a small group together this weekend. We're just going to change the plans and we're just watching Shawshank.
There we go.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, you better watch out.
I really like this movie. It is a really, really good.
It is.
At one point, my co-hosts were threatening church discipline or something if I didn't see it.
I will say this, it truly is one of the greatest movies ever. It really is. Oh, yeah. And I've never read the book. It's from a novella, right? It's just a little short book.
Yeah.
But I would stand on that mountain and say, it's one of the greatest movies of all time, for sure. I love this comment here. That Dufresne is subsequently captured ends up with Michael Clark Duncan in the green. I still haven't seen it. Thanks for spoiling it for me, Andy.
Well, 1994. I mean, you've had some time.
You've had 32 years.
Yeah.
To see the greatest movie, one of the greatest movies. But yes, sorry. And all right, so I'm up, right?
Gosh. Yes.
You're talking about favorite movies of all time. Andy, if you might not get this movie immediately, but it's going to be like, oh, yes, he's said that in the past. We were on an episode. I'll give it away a little bit for you, Andy. We were on an episode last year with our guy. He was on last week. Not on the show last week, but in the comments for the first time in a while, Javier Malave, who also does a podcast on Christian, and he has a devotional for otaku for anime, and the otaku devotion. Anyways, it was his episode that I said this movie, and it was my George. If you can remember, Andy, that's where we're going. But that episode was crime movies, or movies that are crime. And this, to me, is cinematically probably the greatest cop and bad guy movie, in my opinion, of all time. They're both identical people. The policeman, his name's Vince, and the bad guy, which is named Neil. They are pretty much the identical people as far as how they methodically go through being a thief and being a policeman. But I'm going with right about the very middle of a great movie, the shootout scene, the heist scene in the movie Heat. And Robert De Niro, Al Pacino's first time ever being on camera together. They were both in Godfather, but they weren't on camera together. And this likens to, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, right? This is like back in the day. This is two greats going up against each other. And there's another scene, veteran move here. This is how it is. One of the greatest scenes is a little bit further in the movie. They actually have a meetup at the diner. And this is like the first time I can ever remember the bad guy and the good guy having a conversation. No guns, no whatever, and just literally talking out, I'm going to catch you. And he goes, there's a flip side of that coin. If I have to come and catch you and blah, blah, blah. But in the scene that I'm talking about, though, there's no music. It goes on for like 15 minutes of just gunshots. Val Kilmer and what's his name? The guy who wants Jobu in Major League. I can't think of his name right now. He gets killed. Michael blah blah blah. I can't remember his name. But so many amazing actors are in this movie. It's such a great scene, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's definitely on my Rushmore of top 4. I don't know where I put it, along with Gladiator and my next movie as well. So that's going to be my link today.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Tom Sizemore. Absolutely. Tom Sizemore runs forever. He has one of the best scenes, the best shootout scenes, because he runs across the parking lot, turns and shoots. He takes the hostage and basically takes him out. Brian Swartz in the house. What's up, Ohio? Yeah, he's been one of my favorite movies forever.
We just had a party, house party, several months ago, and we had everybody they sent me their picks, and we sort of did a bracket thing of like the greatest action scenes of all time. And this made it to like the top 4. So it made the mountain of the contest we had.
It was in the Rushmore. There you go.
Yeah, I think it lost to what beat it. It came down to that. Well, I'm not going to name the other scenes because we might mention them during Benjamin.
Yeah, great pick. He does so good. He does awesome. Tom Sizemore, All-State guy. I just saw Tango and Cash. They were in prison, so I think that's the same as Shawshank.
Totally.
Not really. Stop Rushmore, man. Ohio, how you doing, man? How you feeling about the Myles Garrett trade? How you feeling about that? Tell me about that.
Jared Verse, though. They'll be all right.
Yeah, they're going to be all right. Actually,
right.
I think they're going to be better. So, 3 big picks. I'm sure Brian loves and knows football. He's probably excited about it. I would say. I'm from Ohio as well. Oh, well, Jason, welcome in. Well, Brian, we didn't know his name for like 3 years. We just called him Ohio.
It's a really tough name to memorize.
He's from Columbus. So Brian's one of my best friends. Stood in my wedding. And he's been on the show twice too, Brian. We can't wait to have you back on again, Ohio. So, Heat. Do you know this movie, Ben? You like this?
No, I don't. Never seen it.
Never seen. Oh, you hate it? You hate it, Ohio? He wanted out. Got to get something for him. And Jared Verse is I don't know. Brian's a huge Browns fan, so Cleveland. Huge Browns fan.
Yeah, it's not hate, it's heat, Ohio.
Oh.
There's just maybe a little issue with the vowels there. No, this is a great pick. And like we're all alluding to and mentioning, what a great cast. If we were to do like Rushmore, this is just a fun topic to throw out there for maybe a future Rushmore of casts in a movie.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like just overall cast. It'd be a fun potential topic to talk about. So
yeah,
there's some movies that it's just ridiculous. Like you talk about like some of these. What was the Arnold Schwarzenegger? All the action. Why am I blanking on this title?
Expendables.
Expendable. That's just insane, right? Yeah. And you can mention it for sure, but like there's some really, really deep ones out there. This is a great.
Cleveland rocks. The Yankees beat them today, finally.
Yeah, Ohio. Are you a big fan of Drew Carey? That's what
Jason Tuttle said he's from Cleveland too. So
there you go. All right.
Well, we're at the George, number 1. Sarah Robert in the house.
Sarah.
Hey. And Heat. Please don't blame me for my husband's lack of movie night.
Ouch. Threw me under
What are
the
you
bus.
doing, Ben, while she's watching these great films? What are you doing? Oh, yeah.
Brian, there is way worse trades, I can tell you. I hate the fact that the Rams got him. I hate that.
Right.
But Jared Verse and those 3 picks,
I
think
love
you guys
the
are doing
fact that if the Rams don't win a Super Bowl, everybody should get fired based on what's happening. And I would love to see that happen.
I would love that because
I'd love them to just blow it up because you have no excuse not to go 20-0 this year.
Right.
No excuse.
All right. Well, let's get
We'll get off of the football talk.
yeah. James, you're up. What's your favorite movie scene of all time?
Oh boy. Oh, for my George, well, I just had to be realistic with myself. And as somebody who's been doing, as I mentioned, I've been doing this film and faith ministry in a variety of forms, from popcorn theology to cinemagogue, etc., for 25 years. And so without this movie scene, I'm not sure that happens. I'm not even sure I'm here with you guys right now. So it had to be the movie scene that set me on my course of seeing spiritual conversations that could be had with film.
Love
And
it.
so this film probably has 3 different scenes people would pick before the scene I will pick. The opening fight in this movie it probably has had hundreds to thousands of viral videos that have referenced it, or TV shows, movies, etc., parodying it. The climax scene is often on people's lists of favorite scenes, and a scene right about the beginning of the 3rd act. But my scene, an aspect, actually, the scene I'm talking about, it's actually used nowadays, even still 25 years later. The concept in it is used to actually apply to political ideologies. So it's a moment of awakening. It's a mind-blowing concept film, and it's right around it was 1999, turn of the century, in the shadow of Y2K. I'm talking about the red pill, blue pill scene in the Matrix. Lawrence Fishburne, one of the great voices of our time, right there with James Earl Jones, Peter Cullen, Optimus Prime, right? He's like, you felt it your entire life. Something's wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. And he's like, and when he said, it's the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. To a guy who'd only really got passionate about his faith for about a year before that, it's like instantly 2 Corinthians 4 springs to mind. The God of this world has blinded the minds of unbelievers to keep them from seeing the light. And of course, Neo says, what truth? Morpheus says that you're a slave like everyone else, born into bondage. And so then he takes the pill. He chooses to know. He falls down. Into the water like a baptism, raised to walk in newness of life. Plus, just the whole concept of the Matrix concept has been copied in 25 years multiple times. But people at that time, like when you're experiencing that, what it was hard to get your brain around. Like it was a brain-bending moment. Copied, it's legendary and iconic now. But you could feel your brain being stretched. And but both the spiritual and just the brain-bending science fiction moment that represented of Neo's rebirth, that scene is my George.
I absolutely love this. One of my favorite parodies was, I think it was 2003, the MTV VMAs, Will Ferrell as the guy. He was in the Matrix. There's a funny little opening intro of that, and vis-a-vis, i.e., ergo. Like he just uses all these. Anyway, but this scene, but for real, what a great scene! What a great movie. There's, like you said, potentially some Benjamins that are going to be thrown out there, some other scenes from the Matrix too. So, but I will say this is great. Are you taking the red pill or the blue pill though? That's what I want to know. On the, do you want to be blinded? Do you want to just know where are we standing at?
I took the red pill, man. That was 1998.
I'm dyslexic. I can never remember which one stands for what.
Yeah. I'll take the which Flintstone vitamin? What's the easily chewable one? Yeah.
Even just the shot, you see the reflection in the glasses, but there's a different pill in each reflection. There's just for craft perspective.
I'll throw this out. This movie is on my Rushmore of movies, for sure. So that's Heat, this, and Gladiator. There's 3 of my movies if we ever do it. This movie I love to death. There are so many scenes, and this scene is amazing. It is it's groundbreaking to me. The stuff that happens in this movie is groundbreaking. To me, it showed Keanu Reeves in a whole different light, which vaulted his career. But the storytelling, this is, I don't know that I've ever watched a movie in my life where I've gone, like been mind blown and just can keep thinking about the different paths it would take you. I mean, like, I wonder if, like, especially before knowing him, going, yeah, I wonder if we really are in the Matrix. You know what I mean? Like, what if that is really kind of something true? You know, art, we always reflect art reflects life type thing. And it's like, there's so many things, like, you know, whether you're watching some other technological movie like Back to the Future or whatever, and there's all these like little things, and you're like,
Yeah.
I wonder if that could happen. This is one of those where you just sit back and you're like, man, I wonder. And
Simulation theory, right?
the simulation theory
Yeah.
is just so overwhelming to think about, and it's really cool. But I love this, that you picked this. I love that you reflected it back to scripture, because yeah, definitely it's such a big deal. It's such a big deal.
I ran and started. I ran to my pastor at the time. It was just like, I said, can you even believe that this? I saw this movie in this scene and that was the pastor at the time just looked at me and he's like, huh? I just watch movies for entertainment. I was like, okay, I'm going to spend the rest of my life proving that it can be more.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Or maybe that the definition of entertainment is too narrow there. That's all. Yeah. Because I would say I would just watch movies for entertainment, but what entertains me is different. Yeah, that's yeah.
Wow. True. Jason Tuttle comes in hot. Number 1, True Romance. Number 2, Highlander. Number 3, Tombstone or Christmas Story. Wow. All right, Andy, what do you think?
I mean, it's great. Matrix, fantastic.
How about you, Dan?
Kind of like you said, though, like I don't know how much I've watched The Matrix. I mean, I've certainly done it since I've like come to Jesus. Like, so like it'd be interesting to go back and watch it knowing this. Like when I watched Matrix before, it was just like, wow, this is really cool. And like, I got to think about this. However, thinking movies aren't typically my my go-to, as you will see in my George in just a minute.
Yeah, Andy doesn't like to really sit and he's kind of like your pastor. I just watch movies for entertainment.
Well, you know, I feel
All movies are thinking movies.
Yeah, no, they for sure. Well, I don't know about my George. You'll.
I did a film and theology event on Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay, well then mine may work. So it's, who knows? What do you think, Ben? You like
Ben, Matrix?
My dad was a youth pastor, late '90s into the early 2000s, and he's actually at Journey.
He preceded me and Andy.
Yes, yeah, and I think it was in 2004. We actually did like a 1 or 2 month long series centered around the theology and concept of the Matrix. We did our own videos and intros and all of that.
Those should be on YouTube right now.
If I could find them, they would be. But yeah, I love it. I think that's a great choice.
Yeah. Good
so,
stuff.
What's your George?
Number 1.
So my George, I have a 1A and a 1B. The 1A was actually Cap lifting Mjolnir in Endgame. So I'm going to go with my 1B, which is...
So, veteran move, changing it on the fly.
I love it.
Yep. So I had options just in case, because I know that's a pretty popular scene. And so my George alternate here is going to be Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith, Anakin versus Obi-Wan, Master versus Apprentice.
Yes.
The scene that really the prequels lead up to.
I've got the high ground.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, just an absolutely, constantly repeated. Yeah, absolutely. It sets up everything else to come beautifully. When it came out, it was kind of, the prequels obviously had a lot of hatred for them in the early 2000s, but I think they have aged very well. in part to the Clone Wars TV show and the Rebels and everything. But that scene, I think, is one of the really epitomizes some of the Star Wars entire universe for me. Just the ramifications of it, how it's shot, how it happens, the moves. You see things done with a lightsaber that to date have not been done again. Just overall, to me, that's my George alternate.
I absolutely applaud this pick. I love it so much. You were the chosen one. I mean, come on. Like, what a great.
Yeah.
I have the high ground. I mean, there's so many quotes just within that scene.
Yeah. You were my brother, Anakin.
Yeah. You were my brother, Anakin. Yeah. You're supposed to restore balance to the Force. Like, what?
Yeah.
What a great.
Not plunge it into darkness.
Yeah. What a great. And then the
Great scene. I do this every time. Great scene. I do this every time Star Wars franchise is mentioned, especially Star Wars. But when you just mention reboots, our ministry is named Reboot. But my favorite thing, Ben, is about a reboot or a restart, as you could kind of say for Star Wars, because it wasn't really a reboot. The prequels, when they launched, and everybody kind of complained, they're like, "Oh, where are you going?" And then obviously the next set where George sold off, and then they're complaining about who's writing and who's directing and all that. What I love the most about a redo or a re-go again 10, 20, 30 years later is that I get to do this again with my kids. And walking this path with my kids and seeing their splendor, their wonder in what they consider their Star Wars or their fill in the blank is
Star Wars Reach Generation.
And you can see it right here in Jason's message. I am showing my age, but Luke versus Vader is better. That's our generation, right? For the mid 30s, 40 to 30 generation, in that range, this is it. This is the culmination. Because I remember I was in the Air Force at this time when I saw this movie, and we all went and watched it, and we were like, yeah, it's a great movie, and I was so glad it was back. And then we all, kind of critique and be like, oh, well, I wish they would have done this. But much like the second set, this movie, I think, kind of redeemed the second portion, because nobody really – the Clone Wars kind of fell flat. And then and I love this movie. I love this scene. I'm glad you mentioned it. It's amazing.
I love the originals, but I like, to your point, the prequels are my Star Wars. Because I remember prior to, I don't know if this was like nationwide or just locally where we were at the time, but prior to episode 1 releasing, they re-released 4, 5, and 6 in the theaters, progressively or whatever. And I remember my dad bringing me to the theater to watch 4, 5, and 6 for the first time before I went and watched 1. It was a really cool kind of nostalgic moment that I have. And we had it on VHS. We had it in the gold box with Vader. We had the VHS triple set. But I remember watching episode 1 and being like, this is the coolest thing ever. Look, we can hate on Jar Jar Binks. We can hate on pod racing. We can all this stuff. That was me, dude. I remember going to Taco Bell and getting the tops and the toys, and that was what Star Wars was to me. So I love this. I love 1, 2, and 3. It's up there with my favorites of it. If you're going to be a purist or whatever, maybe you don't go that way. I say purist, but like you said, it's everybody. That's the cool thing about Star Wars. Everybody has their own thing. I don't necessarily love the new ones, but I know Canon absolutely loves it, and it's great. I can respect it. I think it's great. There's an iconic scene in one of those that may be mentioned later too, though. So we'll see.
Yeah. He does love the new ones.
And I do love Mandalorian.
And more so than him actually loving the new ones, my daughter loves them even more.
Yeah.
Carson, she's a junior, right? She's a junior. Cannon's a 6th grader. Star Wars for him is more like the cartoons, right? He loves, Rebels, and he loves the new stuff that's come out. He loves Mando and Grogu, which we still haven't gone to see that yet. He loves that stuff. That's his Star Wars. This is more of my other daughters, right? 100% hate all the reboots, but my 6-year-old love Mandalorian, Grogu. He's a huge Grogu fan. Exactly. So Cannon loves all that. We need to go see that. I think we're going to make a double. What do you call it? Where you go watch 2 movies at a time and watch He-Man and Mando at the same time. Just bang bang. Let's figure it out tomorrow.
He-Man looks good.
So I need to see both of them. Obviously, He-Man
I need to
releases.
be honest and confess. I'm the grumpy grandpa on this one, Ben. Sorry. I love Ewan McGregor. If there's anything about the prequels, I think that he was a shining light despite any issue. Despite I'm actually Simon Pegg in Spaced when it comes to the Phantom Menace. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Spaced, but he has a wonderful rant about Jar Jar. So I was and still kind of am that guy. But one of my co-hosts loves. They're probably their Revenge of the Sith, probably their favorite film of the whole set. For me, I agree with the guys. I'm going with the guy in the chat. I liked more tangible lightsaber battles. There was something weightless about. I love the mall fight in Phantom Menace, but when they're flipping around, when there's no gravity, it felt to me like it just was not. It wasn't solid. I like fights that seem more solid, and it felt very weightless. And so it just didn't land for me. But like you said, I think you guys have covered it well. So I'm the grumpy grandpa that just be like, I'd never be on my Rushmore.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, get off my lawn. Original 3 or nothing. Although the first season
when they
was
first
cool.
came out, I wasn't a fan of any of them. I didn't like them. I will say watching the Clone Wars, and this is kind of like a deep dive.
Sure.
Watching the Clone Wars TV show, it was made for kids, but the stories in it and the progression of the series, and then going back and watching the actual prequel movies completely change your viewing experience of them as a whole, in my opinion.
I think for me, I like watching the Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith. I think to me that's a better set than the 3 movies. I like the cartoon because somebody recommended Clone Wars, and that to me that redeemed a lot of it and made it more interesting for sure.
Especially Revenge of the Sith and really Attack of the Clones as well.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good pick. Good picks, man. Star Wars, man, way up on my mountain. Franchise George. We've talked about franchises. This is George. Hey, so Andy, what you got?
Yeah, so this is the one that, hey, I would love to hear James' take on how this in this one, although there probably is, you think about it. But, man, this movie is always my favorite. It's just absolutely, it's everything. Again, if Ferris Bueller kind of like made me who I am, like Wayne's World was doing that too. I just gave it away. Wayne's World. But the thing is, what's the scene? The crazy thing about Wayne's World is that because it's based
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Because it's based on an SNL skit, all of the movie essentially is scene after scene, skit after skit after skit after skit in one big overall story. I love Wayne's World too as well, but I'm going to go Wayne's World number 1, and I think that this is just the route to go is with this scene because what it means not just for movies for me, but also for music. I'm going with Bohemian Rhapsody. This is the scene that defines it all. You don't get far into the movie, but everything that this movie stands for.
Showing.
One of the interesting things about Bohemian Rhapsody scene is that this movie came out early 90s. So this is like way after Bohemian Rhapsody was like a song. We hear this song now and we're like, gosh, it's such an iconic hit. But really it wasn't in America. Like it wasn't a huge deal. And many people attribute Wayne's World to being why this has become such a big hit for us, right? Now, what I read in one place was that the writers of the movie were really pushing for this to be like Guns N' Roses' Welcome to the Jungle. It was a lot more relevant to the time and everything and kind of fit more of that. But it was Mike Myers who said, no, we were doing Bohemian Rhapsody, fought it. They eventually did it. It's become one of the most iconic scenes in movie history. But really what it does is it brings me to a time of, man, when I'm in a car and music is on, I'm offended when my friends want to have conversations. I'm putting this song on because I want you to hear it. or also we need to belt this thing out, right? Like that's the only thing we have here. This song, I mean, it's made it to where when you hear Bohemian Rhapsody and it gets to the you're headbanging that part. I absolutely love this. I love what happens in the middle of this because there's kind of a pause in it when they pick up their buddies and their guy in the back is just drunk out of his mind and he's going to throw up. And one of the most iconic lines, which there's a billion lines in Wayne's World, but when he says, hey man, if you're going to spew into this. He gives him the little water cup and, they're talking to the cop at the donut shop. And man, I just absolutely love this scene. It's been done so many times. I could pick any way. This was the movie where I said I could just say, hey, what's my Rushmore of Wayne's World? That would actually make this list more difficult for me. How do I narrow it down to my top 4 scenes from Wayne's World? I don't think I could do that show in good faith. I really don't think I could. But this scene is what it's all about for me.
No Stairway to Heaven.
Denied. So going a little Wayne's World action.
All
Fox
right.
and Lady, that flipper, what a great scene there too. I mean, what is it? It's a gun rack. A gun rack? A gun rack. I don't even own a gun, let alone that would necessitate an entire rack. This is the movie that really ticks my wife off. I can never watch it with her. It's my favorite movie of all time. But I'll quote it from start to finish, and I'll quote Wayne's World 2 from start to finish. It's equally
Dreamweaver.
Oh, wow.
Well, listen.
Fighting, huh?
I knew you were going to have this on your mountain. I know this is on your mountain of movies. I wasn't sure if you're going to pick a scene from it, but it is worthy. It is worthy.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Rhapsody would be one. My favorite scene, though, from this movie is the ending where.
Well, let's do the Scooby-Doo ending.
Yeah, and do it all over again. I love that whole ending. So I tell this story all the time for anybody that's new in the chat. If Kevin's here, Kevin, are you still hanging around? Kevin, Earth to Kevin. If you're here, you're going to love this. So 8th grade, this movie came out in 8th grade. I remember that because during 8th grade, our friend Marcus, who looks like Chris Benoit, that's an inside joke. The action figure, actually. But anyways, he wrote on Miss Ladner's board at our school at St. Margaret Mary, hey, everybody meet at Movies 8 tonight at 8 o'clock and go watch the Wayne's World. I never really watched Saturday Night Live, didn't really watch Wayne's World, didn't really watch any of that jazz. But I went because all our friends were going. And I went and I was like, I don't know. I was kind of like, I don't know what I'm watching. So I missed half the jokes. But it was hilarious. And it was a great time spending it with like the whole 8th grade class. And we were all there. And leaving there, I was like, I don't know. Everybody was so pumped and jazzed up because they actually watched it. I was like, I don't even know what I really watched. But it's kind of that generation's Blues Brothers type thing, you know. Great movie. I know you love it. You always call it out. But good scene, too. The when they start headbanging is great.
This is probably this was college, so I remember being with we'd be watching this. We watched it in the theater, and then we watched it when it came to video, and you would just all your friends would be singing it and doing different parts. So that was a huge part of college life. But I will say, and maybe your wife will respect it a little bit more. Wayne's World can be seen as an allegory for guarding the sacredness of your gifts against the corporatizing, the corrupting allure of idolatry. Right? Rob Lowe offers wealth and fame and comfort, but they have to sacrifice their ethics to do it. So there's very much a spiritual message there, right? It's almost a David versus Goliath story there.
I like what you did here.
And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling kids. Yeah.
Cassandra.
Good stuff.
But that's the scene. I don't think of it like that. That to me, like culturally, there's no bigger moment than them singing that. Yeah.
The scene where they're doing like the the commercials. You're
The
right. It
subcut.
is the choice. And it's the choice of a new generation.
Oh yeah.
It's
Little.
like some people just do stuff for money, man. That's just not cool. Like, oh man, absolutely.
Little, yellow,
Ben,
different.
yeah. Man, I can't think. I have a headache. Here, take one of these. Tiny, yellow. Different. We say that all the time. My wife and I are literally like, if we're taking medicine, I'll say little, yellow, different.
Well, I'll finish off this mountain and get us into
Ben, Ben's muted. I'm
Ben.
so interested. Have you seen Wayne's World? Did your dad do a series on Wayne's World?
I have definitely seen it.
Okay, good.
No, he did not do a series on it. I think my mom
That would be awesome if Coach did a lesson on Wayne's World.
Yeah, I think my mom.
Speaking of that,
probably
Andy,
would've
when are
killed
you
him
doing a lesson on Wayne's World?
before Pastor Doug fired him? Would be my guess.
Hey, also, we're not worthy. They demonstrate humility.
There you go. Actually, did you know that it's pronounced Milwaukee, which of course means the good land?
It has been a very long time since I've seen that movie. I think I'm gonna have to brush up on that.
Alice Cooper scene was hilarious, says Steve.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
well, another quote, and then we'll get to yours. I could quote Waynesville all day, but I always say like, "Hey man, my girlfriend's in there."
Dude, you're stealing my pick.
Hey man, lots of guys' girlfriends.
Yeah.
All right, Kirk. You're George, number one.
Andy. Yeah, so I have a lot of ways I could have gone with this, and this is the first scene I thought of. It stayed the test of time. It stayed at the very top. Now, the problem that I have with this scene is that Ben didn't say it, honestly, because I'm because I'm going 1988, 80s, Empire Strikes Back. No, I am the father, and
So that is actually.
I am going with my generations. Like most, probably the biggest twist, but the culmination of two great movies, Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and if I'm being honest, no, Empire Strikes Back is not on my mountain of movies. If I was to have a Star Wars, it would be Return of the Jedi, because I was born in '78. When Empire came out, I was about 3 or 4. I don't know that I actually watched it too much then. But when Return of the Jedi came out, that was my movie. And I had already known that he was his father. Like, I didn't get to be old enough to really see that portion. But if you think about this, Obi-Wan basically tells Luke, yeah, Vader murdered your dad. And for his whole life, right, Luke thought his dad was a hero. Luke thought his dad was killed by the greatest dark force in the universe. He thought, like, my dad went up against him. And his whole goal in life was to avenge and get that done. And then when he finds out the truth, which was what he was actually told, because Obi-Wan was talking in circles, and yes, he did kill Anakin, right? He was, as Anakin goes, he went to the dark side, and it's because of the scenes that we have already talked about. So, greatest franchise of all time, in my opinion. It's just what was supposed to be just a campy sci-fi Western type movie has turned into a generational phenomenon. And I can watch all the movies and not complain one bit. Every one of them, for whatever reason, I can see the flaws. I whether you hate Jar Jar or you hate the direction of the 8th movie and how they dealt with Luke, and or whatever the thing is, or you don't like certain cartoons, this is it for me, man. I love this franchise, and to me, it's one of the biggest pop culture things in the world ever, was when this happened. And it's turned into billions, right? So I'm going with no, which also is, one of those Mandela effects, right? Luke, I'm your father, which that's not really it. No, I am your father. So there you go. I'm going.
What a great one! This is actually my first Benjamin that was taken away today. So, but it's okay.
Mine too.
Benjamin. It's the first one off the list. I knew it would be. I would at least be in the Benjamins. It would be talked about. Here's my little prop that I've got. I do have a Vader in here, so there's that.
Lord Vader.
That's all I got. But no, great one, obviously.
Hey, so Bud was here earlier. We didn't get to shout him out. Bud Files, thanks for being here. We love you, man. Thanks for being here. Steve says New Hope was one of the biggest movies of my lifetime. Yeah. And again, those both New Hope and Empire came out while I was really young. I'm born in 78, so that was like 1 and 4. Return of the Jedi was mine. I remember watching the cartoon, getting the every time we go to St. Tammany Collector's Con, I look up at what is the brick wall, and they have all those Ewok action figures and that Ewok city and all that junk that's over there. And I'm like, man, I really don't need that, but I want that. and yeah, that's just kind of my Star Wars. But you guys talked a little bit about Ben's movie. Talk a little bit about this one.
I mean, the search your feelings, you know it to be true line on that one to me is what really sticks out. You know, and then the whole Empire would be on probably my George of movies total. It probably, if not 1, it would be 2.
I will acknowledge that it's probably the best of the series. Yes,
definitely.
But it's just not my favorite of the series. I want speeder bikes. I want Ewoks. That's awesome. Yes.
Yep. Love it. It's I mean, and like I said, it's on my Benjamins for sure. It would probably be the first one off of there. It didn't resonate as much with me because I mean you know, and I was born in '88, so well after it's now common knowledge that you know, okay, Vader's Luke's dad. Everybody knows that. So what's the big deal? But the movie as a whole, the concept of the bad guys winning, you know, I don't know that at that time that concept had been done very much, and throughout the entire movie, there is almost no point where the rebels have a solid chance of pulling out the win, and it doesn't go to the end where now the good guys win. No, the Empire truly does strike back. It lives up to the title for sure.
This actually, when you said movie scenes, when I settled on it just has to be a movie scene, the first one that came to mind was this one, Kurt, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, even though it then got bumped down to number 5, when I just like, what am I going to think of? And next Optimus Prime, like as far as a shock in the 80s, I'm 1 year older than you, so I was just cognizant enough. So Empire was my first. I saw Star Wars, I think, on the re-release. That Tauntaun linked up. I don't know what's going on. I didn't push the button. It's got a mind of its own.
Cut him open.
Yeah. But I have the sleeping bag of that. But so yeah, that probably had the most impression. That's why Han Solo was my guy. But no, best director of any Star Wars film, Irvin Kershner. The staging of that, when I talked about why this is my favorite lightsaber scene. So I think you get the scene from the start of the lightsaber scene to I'm Your Father. Like that's the scene. Tremendous. Even from you first see Vader and it's framed almost like the machinery behind him makes it look like a web. When he says first says young Skywalker, all the way the cloudiness of the scenes, the real tactile nature of their fight, throwing the stuff at him, knocking Luke through the window and then taking off his hand. There's something that's never felt quite so visceral about, to me, the whole franchise, except for, even though it's more of a Han guy, that moment in that movie, nothing felt as high stakes. And as a kid, the bad guys won. That just blew you away. And
and another James Earl Jones on my mouth.
And another Harrison Ford mention.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's 3 for Harrison Ford tonight.
Earlier in the movie, Han tries to shoot Vader. Han shoots first, and Vader just deflects the bolt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. Yeah.
This is my 3rd favorite film of all time. This would be on my Rushmore, easy. So
there you go.
Yeah,
nice.
Empire is my favorite of all the Star Wars and one of my favorites of all time. So
perfect. All right. Well, look, we're well into this. We need to get to these Benjamins. We're going to have Joe Rogan show up here soon. So let's do the Benjamins and talk about our honorable mentions. So it sounds like only a few Benjamins have been taken. So this is how the Benjamin game goes. We're going to go in the same order, but it's a draft. So it's going to go James, Ben, Andy, me. But then in the second round, it's me, Andy, Ben, James. And third round, it's back again and then back again, like fantasy football, if you've ever done that. So James, you get first pick and last pick. I get 2 back-to-back picks at the bookends, and you guys are picking in the middle. Now, here's the thing. We've done this 223 times. Don't necessarily pick your favorite. There may have been some things mentioned in the show tonight that might give away that we might be looking at getting something in the same world. If you think I'm going to take something or Andy's going to take something, you might want to take it first. If you have something that's kind of like more nostalgic or deep dive, you can probably keep that till later. You want to try and build your best mountain. I only have 1 off my mountain today so far. I got 3 of my 4 left for my Benjamins, and I've got some others to come out. So you're going to be up first. Oh, by the way, the reason it's called Benjamins is because when we first started doing this, Benjamin Franklin I found on this list that he might have been the 5th guy on the mountain. So we're going to talk about what missed our mountains because old Benny missed the mountain. So we call them honorable mentions of the Benjamins. So what's your first Benjamin today, James? And and by the way, we don't need to go in a big critique on it, which is funny that I'm telling you that. But this is kind of more of like, oh, yeah, this is it. This is why. This is it. This is why. And because it is the second round. So you're up.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, I'm just going to go straight for one that my wife will endorse wholeheartedly. And that is the movie Equilibrium.
Ooh.
And it's where Christian Bale says, where he says, not without incident. And if you've seen the fight scene that follows that, you will know of all the greatest fight scenes that there ever are. He's dressed in white, and he takes out like 100 people, and I think he gets one little blood stain on his collar in the midst of it. This was pre-John Wick, awesome kick butt, gun fu fight scenes. And it was like 2002, and my wife and I watched that movie. Christian Bale wasn't a big thing yet. And we came out of the movie, and we were just having a conversation. We're like, between that and American Psycho, I know he's not a big enough name, but he would make an awesome Batman. And like 6 months later, they announced Christian Bale would be Batman. We prophesied that into existence. That's my claim of it.
Thank you, James, for what you did for cinema.
Hey, that's a good pick. That's a great pick. Actually, one off my radar. I hadn't thought about Equilibrium in a minute. So that's a good pick. And that's a cool scene. Ben, what missed your mountain?
So for number 4, I was going back and forth between this one and Indy and the Boulder. I went with Indy and the Boulder just due to the way it sets up the entire movie.
Good news is you got them both.
That's right. So, and then also this kind of harkens back to Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith, where Obi-Wan drops in and says hello there to Grievous and drops the big mechanical whatever the heck it is on his guards. In that, he could choose the hard way to fight him, or he could choose the easy way. And I think that Lucas probably used that reference based on what I would say my first Benjamin is, and that is Indiana Jones versus the Cairo swordsman, when they're running through the marketplace and he comes up to this elite warrior and he's doing all these sword tricks, and he would absolutely destroy Indiana Jones in a sword fight. He's huge. I believe it's actually the same guy that later on plays the airplane mechanic. He's a big old dude, and Indiana Jones looks at it, thinks for a second, pulls out his pistol, and shoots him, and then just walks away. And so that I was going between that one and the.
I didn't know where you were going with that. That was a veteran move, huh, Andy? He was all over.
I love it. Ben's been here before. It feels like.
Veteran move is how can I get extra picks without getting extra picks?
That's right.
Yeah, that was some good stuff every week.
We say
not my first fantasy draft.
Yeah, not my first.
There you go. See.
Hey, I love that scene. That scene is awesome. It's one of those just comedic things.
I think it was actually
does.
a shift from the script, because if I remember correctly, I think Harrison Ford was actually sick on the day of production, and they had this whole sequence mapped out, and he couldn't do it, and so they shifted it the day of production, to go to that scene, and I think they couldn't have done a better job with it.
Yeah.
Well, Andy, what makes your mouth?
Oh man, where do I go? I'm going to put this one up there because, well, no, you know what? I'm going to hang on to it because anyway. This one's going to be a nod to my dad. This was a movie that we would watch, or he would watch, and I would just happen to be in the room at the same time. And I'm just going to say the quote, and I'm going to say this. I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I've kind of lost track myself. Being as this is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, I'm going to blow your head clean off. You got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do ya, punk? Dirty Harry. I mean, that scene, well, it's just one of the more iconic quotes and scenes in movie history. My dad would say this all the time. We would watch it. I'm going to go Dirty Harry. Do you feel lucky, punk?
There.
Yeah,
Yep.
this
Go wrong there.
is an iconic scene, and it's also a Mandela effect, and many people get it wrong, and I'm glad you did a really good job reading the script for us. That was
all from my brain, actually, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there we go.
Yeah, you're awesome.
All right,
I'm just saying, you're great.
Guys,
What? What were we going to say?
I think you got delayed. I think there was a glitch on your side.
Oh.
So
A glitch. Well, yeah. Let me get in here. I've got 4 great ones left. And I hope I can finish off with all these. Clint Eastwood, my dad, favorite too. My dad liked Clint, but he also liked what's the other guy? Death Wish. That guy.
Bronson.
Bronson. My dad loves some Bronson. Gosh, Charles Bronson. Yeah. Anyways, he did like Clint, but here you go. Hey, you guys. That's a good one. That's a good one. Way to, yeah. Hey, but I'm going to go with 2. I don't even know which ones to save because I think potentially these are all in the top greatest scenes of all time. But another one of my favorite movies, I just mentioned it a few weeks back, Andy. I'm a teacher, guys, and there's a scene. Is Francisco still here? Is Francisco still here? Oh, there's Captain, my Captain. The monologue of Robin Williams in Dead Poets Society, where he stands up on the desks, and it's a culmination of just a great movie that deals with a lot of you could write 10 sermons out of this thing, yeah. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Probably my favorite monologue of all time, but there are a couple other monologues that would go into this. Gosh, I just thought of 2 more. There isn't enough room. All right.
Somebody that we talked to would have told us beforehand we should have narrowed this topic.
Narrowed it down. Yeah.
Somebody would have mentioned it and brought it up.
All right. So I'm going to avoid this one that's even on my mountain, and I'm going to put this one right in immediately. The one that's in the top of my head. Favorite Christmas movie of all time.
Yes.
100% my favorite Christmas movie of all time. And the scene goes, Aunt Bethany, can you say grace? Grace died 15 years ago. Stop blasting. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. Freaking Christmas Vacation, my favorite Christmas movie of all time. If it doesn't make my mountain of Rushmore of favorite movies of all time, it's only because it's a Christmas movie, and that's just it. But I love that movie. I'm gonna go with Aunt Bethany.
I'm surprised that's the scene you went for, though. I mean, not surprised because it's a great.
That's
scene.
the one I quote the most.
I thought you were going to go the attic scene.
The attic scene is amazing. That's one of my favorites of all time. I cry because I think about Christmas. Yes, but that's the funniest scene.
Veteran moves. Good pick. Okay.
Hey, Prime, what's up? Haven't seen you in a minute. We love you. Thanks for being here.
My next pick that I'm going to do is one of the craziest fighting scenes of all time. I'm just going to tell you, like, don't go watch it if you don't care for gore and blood and stuff. And it's a movie that today is hard for me to watch just because of where I'm at in my relationship with Jesus. Like, this is a great movie. I love this movie, but it's kind of a tough watch now. The vulgarity of the movie, just all the things about it. But we want to talk about one of the guys who, I'm surprised this is the first time we're mentioning this director today. I'm going to Kill Bill. The crazy 88 scene is just one of the most insane fighting scenes. It's her versus 88 of these trained assassins.
Oh yeah,
he just murks everyone, cuts arms off. They're spewing blood.
The silhouette scene where they're like all just blue and black.
Yeah, and I just love the cinematography too, because at one point it turns black and white here too, and it's very like old school kung fu movie meets kind of a new feel. It's, man, what a great. There's a lot of scenes in well, first of all, Tarantino movies, but also in Kill Bill itself, Kill Bill 1 or 2, that could be mentioned. But I'm going crazy 88 scene.
Hey, it could have been worse. It could have been 200 foreskins. So I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying. So
200 foreskins. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ben and then James, you get back to back.
All right. So I'm I'm going to go into the sports realm. Like I said, I'm not a baseball guy. I'm a football guy. And when I think of football movies, I actually struggle watching football movies just because I've spent years as a coach's son, and watching them kind of makes me cringe sometimes. But there's one particular football movie that I think just surpasses all others by leaps and bounds, and that's Remember the Titans.
Yes!
Specifically, the Gettysburg Speech.
Yes, it is. What a great pick.
As far as inspiring speeches go, I don't know that there's any that are better.
Okay, monologues. Here you go. There's another one. And I will say this movie was right outside. It was right behind Jurassic Park, 9-10.
Yeah.
9-10. Oh, gosh. And
this is another one with the ministry side of things, Kirk.
Yeah.
Remember the Titans that we did. So you probably have it up there.
Oh, right. No, what did we get for that one? What did we get for that one?
What was the Remember the Titans token? Well, the ring is Schindler's List. The Zihuatanejo box.
It's not Earn It. It's not the hammer.
I don't remember what that was, but I remember.
Oh, that was the night that we got our shirt.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah.
Anyways,
great pick.
Rudy.
Turning point of the movie.
We've tossed around doing a Denzel Washington Rushmore, and that would be
Denzel's tough. That's tough. A really large library. So James, you got 2 picks.
Oh boy. Well, the one that first kind of came to mind is one that anytime my wife and I were able over the years to cobble together a little home theater, and anytime we just have a few minutes to show friends that, there's always one scene that we show them because it tests the sound system. It also looks gorgeous, and it also really cemented growing up. You mentioned Beastmaster earlier, Kirk, and fantasy movies up until the early 21st century were always suffering from budget. But the Balrog appearance and fight with Gandalf the Grey, and which is the death of Gandalf the Grey. Death because he comes back as Gandalf White. But then for that scene and the emotional impact when he says, "Fly, you fools," the creature design, I can't think of a creature design better than the Balrog in all of fantasy movies, except for maybe Tim Curry in Legend. But
Legend.
Yeah, but the Balrog fight and the death of Gandalf the Grey, and the emotional toll of everybody weeping, and then of course Viggo Mortensen has to just tell them to get up, and another scene that blew my mind away and then made me cry. So I'm right back there with Optimus Prime again.
I will say this movie franchise is also on my mountain of franchises. It's probably number 2. I don't remember what I put, Andy.
Yeah.
Pirates is on there for me, and this one, and I think Indiana. That was my top 4, I think, if I remember. I might be wrong. One of them might have been a Benjamin, but Lord of the Rings, the whole franchise is amazing. I've tried to watch this several times with my kids. It doesn't work because their generation only watches 2-second clips, and these movies, like, to watch all 6 movies, especially the uncut versions, and then even if you want to throw in the rest, is a undertaking, just like the 22 movies. But while I was sitting on the couch this morning waiting for the show, because I'm a teacher, so I have all day off, I'm sitting around like, I gotta have a Lord of the Rings one, and I found a few, and this is not one that I had picked just because I really just didn't think about it, I guess. But this is an amazing scene. There's memes about it. There's been jokes about it. I've seen it on like Saturday Night Live for skits. There's so many good things about this. But man, Tolkien. I mean, he's such an inspiration to me when I wrote my book, as far as The Princess and the Bride and all that. This is such a good pick. I love this. Fantasy is probably on my Rushmore of genres because of Beastmaster. I mean, I used to watch Beastmaster as a kid with my dad.
Love Beastmaster.
Oh man, Conan and all of that, and Crow. But this when I saw this for the first time, that condor kind of coming in on the battle scene, I was like, man, we really are seeing this. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So, anyways, what's your other one?
Well, I'm going to go back to 1989 because growing up, unlike all the kids these days, growing up on their like glut of superhero movies coming out your ears till you're sick of them, we didn't have much. And in fact, like, all I grew up with in terms of Batman was Adam West. In fact, even all the cartoons were Adam West. And being a hardcore comic fan,
Chill out.
Yeah. But for the first time to have that opening scene of Tim Burton's Gotham landscape, all the shadows, that silhouette of Keaton's Batman dropping down, and then when he grabs him, and there's no Adam West voice, there's not even a Christian Bale growl, there's just that whisper from Michael Keaton. I'm Batman. I would tell all your friends about me. That as a kid, I think I could have at that age, I could have died happy right there. And even though I'd say, I think the new film actually is my favorite, but this is the first time we really had a serious moment with a serious and dark superhero film.
I think that's the first time I had a fandom. And I remember it just blowing up at like McDonald's or Burger King. It was like over the action figures, the movie, the music, the Michael Keaton, the joke, like just the whole thing. And it just like, I was like, I don't even like comics. As a young kid, I didn't collect comics. I didn't collect comics until I was in high school. But right then, I remember around that time, man, I need to go read the Batman. What's all about this? And dude, I loved it so much. You're on point, Vicky.
Then we got that animated series out of it, and there's just the
Georgia cartoons
that kicked off so much of what I've enjoyed since in my life. That scene will always be iconic.
Michael is Batman. You shall not pass. Yes. Ben, you're up.
You're making this difficult for me because you ain't taking any options off the board here. I'm going to have to go back to my...
So I will just say this. Remember, it's scenes. So you can still go same movie, different scene.
Yeah. Like I told Andy, I've got like over 30 options here, and I think there's only been one or two that y'all have taken off here. So I'm
You're
trying
saying it's
to
difficult because we haven't taken them.
That's right. Yes. So it's trying to pick between all of these. So, but for this one, I'm going back to childhood, growing up with this movie. I remember watching it with my friends and just absolutely cackling in the wee hours of the morning over pretty much every scene this movie has. As far as casts go, I think it would be in the conversation of Rushmore.
Okay.
And this is The Three Amigos. So that's right. Yes. Probably my favorite movie growing up as a kid, still way up there. Specifically the scene when they are dealing with the talking bush, or the singing bush rather. And they use the singing bush as a landmark, and that's where they have to do the different chants and fire their gun up in the air. And so everybody, they do their chant, and it's just a ridiculous chant. They go through it, and then it gets to Chevy Chase, and he's cynical of the whole thing. And the whole point of the chant is so that the invisible swordsman will show up and show them the way to end their quest here. And Chevy Chase follows the instructions for his chant, except he doesn't point his gun up in the air. He points it almost kind of at the ground, away from the group, fires it, and he kills the invisible swordsman. So that's where I'm going.
I love this pick. Real quick, short memory. The first time I ever saw this was at my friend Brian Babin's house, who is now the head baseball coach at Pope John Paul. And he played on my all-star team that year or whatever. And I was sleeping over. We were watching that movie. And only thing I remember is after that movie, like they were dying laughing, whatever. I couldn't go to sleep. And so I had to call my mom at like 2 o'clock in the morning and tell her, hey, can you come get me? And they were like, what's going on? And it's like, you watch a scary movie or whatever. And I was like, no, I watched Three Amigos. And she's like, go the frick to bed. And then come get me. So anyways, yeah, this is a funny movie. Great cast.
Yeah.
At least, especially in the top.
I had to pick between that and the Buttercup song when they're in the cantina. That was a hard choice.
Good stuff. All right, Andy.
Well, you want to talk about staying up cackling? This is my generation staying up cackling. Dude, this movie is so stupid funny. Like, it's another movie.
I hope it's the one that I've been thinking that you're going to do eventually.
Every single scene in this movie is worthy to be mentioned tonight, like many movies, but this one for sure. I'm going to the news team brawl from
Yes.
is so good. So Will Ferrell, their news team went out. They were upset about the women anchor getting the head anchor job, so they go out and they go buy suits. That's the only way to drown your sorrow. And then they just take a shortcut, or at least what they think is a shortcut, and it winds up into this rival gang brawl of all the competing news channels. Starts with Vince Vaughn's group rolling up on bicycles. The Spanish news team is in there. There's just so many things that Ben Stiller has a news channel and he shows up. They run around with a grenade. Somebody's on a horse on fire. Like, it just is this most ridiculous. And it ends and it culminates where they're all drinking in the office saying, boy, that escalated quickly. And it's just such a dumb movie, but it's so funny. It's a funny story about Anchorman. I'll just share this and then we'll go to the next one. But when my band was first recording our demo, we were in this little town outside of Lafayette, Louisiana. The guy's house he converted into a studio, and he had a VCR there. Was the only, and when you're recording a CD or whatever, like I recorded the drum parts and then I was done. Well, we all drove together, so I had nothing to do the rest of the time we were there. So he had a VCR, so the only means of entertainment I had was a VCR. The only VHS this guy had was Anchorman. So we watched Anchorman 100 times. I'm not even kidding. In this week that we were there, on repeat, rewinding it, doing that whole deal. And man, I absolutely love it.
That's a great. I have so many left. All right, I'm gonna go with on my Rushmore favorite movies of all time. The movie was already mentioned. I'm going with a different scene. I'm going with The Matrix, and I am going with the bullet time fight scene.
Yeah.
It's a cinematic change. It shows what the Wachowski sisters have now done. That's silly. The Wachowski brothers have done with The Matrix is just like some of that stuff was just the cinematography, the fight scene, coming up the elevator, going through the whole battle scene, all the way to fight Mr. Anderson. Yeah, like so. Mr. Smith and Mr. Anderson just going at it. Yeah, it's going to be on mine. That was one that I moved off, and I've been moving it back and back and back and back. You already mentioned. I was like, oh, I could probably get it later. The other one that I want, man, I wanted Infinity War here. It's the only one I missed out. So I'm going to do, gosh, I could do that one. I could do this one. You know what? I'm going to do this one. It's on my list because I think it was one of the most unique twists and just amazing things in movie writing. A director we haven't said yet. Usually you can only watch his movie once. You would have to watch this twice. I'm going with The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
The reveal was that he was dead. And then you see all the things red.
Way to spoil it, Kirk.
What?
Okay, say spoilers before you do that.
Well, okay, yeah. Well, no. All the things are red, and then you go back and rewatch, and you're like, dang it. How did I miss this? Along with the rest of the world had missed it. And
Thought his wife wasn't talking to him.
Yeah. And so it was one of my extras to kind of pull in. But, yeah, I'm going to go with Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love this pick. Great pick. All right, my last one. Now, James, if you can pull out my spiritual lesson from this movie, I mean, you just win whatever the prize that we want to give is. Kirk, I'm going to say the quote, and I want you to finish it, okay? This scene is just so good. It's so stupid. Do you want to take what is in the box or the red snapper? What's in the box? Nothing!
Nothing is in the box!
UHF, Weird Al Yankovic, The Wheel of Fish.
Oh, my gosh.
What a dumb scene.
Oh, my gosh. The Wheel of Fish. Nothing is in the... Isn't that the guy? Isn't that Long Duck Dong from 16 Candles? Isn't that the same guy? Maybe I'm wrong.
I got to look that up, dude. But nothing! Absolutely nothing! Stupid! You're so stupid!
Talk about a stupid, funny movie.
I mean, it's Weird Al Yankovic. Come on.
Yeah. UHF. Good movie.
All right, so I got to go with that one, and I'm looking forward to the sermon, James. We're going to get here in a minute for Wheel of Fish, but
well, there you go, fish.
Like Napoleon Dynamite, I will need to meditate on UHF a little. I'll have to see. Well, I've seen UHF a half dozen times, but but I will need to meditate on that.
It's such a small scene,
a little inspiration.
It's a small scene, but I mean, there's a fish. There's a good little, Do you take what's there? Like there's a risk of some. I don't know. There's
you get the drink from the fire hose.
Yeah. So anyway,
there's probably some proverbial wisdom to be had from that, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. All right, Ben, we're back to you. What's your last pick?
All right, so y'all still not helping me here with.
You didn't have UHF, you mean?
No. I struggled to, as y'all are going through, to narrow these down. But I got to go back to my roots, another childhood favorite, and I would venture a guess this movie is probably not on anybody's Benjamin list, even anywhere close to it. But I grew up with this movie, which probably explains a lot of my mental state, and that would be Robin Hood Men in Tights. And I absolutely hate
White Men
Can't. They bust out into song multiple times in this movie, and it is still absolutely on the Rushmore movies for me. As far as there's infinite amount of scenes to take out of this movie that
have an
could be
authentic
here.
British accent.
Exactly. Yeah. Did you just say Abe Lincoln?
Abe Lincoln. Which we quoted that several times on the show for Abraham Lincoln.
Oh yeah, you have to. But to me, the scene to pick out here is when they bust out into song, handing out the tights, and it's the Men in Tights song.
We are men in tights.
Has to make it. It just does.
Great stuff. I love it.
And my wife absolutely hates this movie.
Mole.
Oh, good movie.
Yeah, that's it.
Good stuff. All right, James, wrap it up. What's the last one tonight?
Oh boy. Well, I'm not going to do another tearjerker. I'm not going to do another monologue.
There are several tearjerkers and monologues left.
But I think I'm going to go with a scene that I think really, well, I don't think I need to give it any preamble whatsoever. The opening scene of this movie was the opening of what created the blockbuster, and that's the opening of Jaws.
Oh,
And I was tempted to go with the Indianapolis speech, but if I'm honest, my lifelong fear of water owes to this scenes. The fact that I'll never go in water that isn't a pool that I can't
so
see the
many
bottom
others.
of. And because this scene is so, well, one, it's iconic. You got that beautiful score by John Williams that's so simplistic. The fact that the shark wouldn't work, so that they had to go for this minimal scene where you've got the shark's POV. I'll try to be how graceful can I say this? There's a little bit of titillation because you have this idea of skinny dipping, but of course the boy is drunk, and so like that's ruined. He does a great job of keeping it PG, so you never really see. There's the idea that she is naked, but it's more about vulnerability.
yeah.
You have this the most vulnerable state a woman can be in, and then such a horrible end. But actually injured that woman, pulling her back and forth through the water. I mean, it was all practical effects, and just the terror of that. And then, of course, she disappears under the water. That culturally actually led to massive shark killing. A little exaggerated, but it did happen. And like that scene in that movie scared a generation to go in the ocean. I stand by that. And one of the most terrifying scenes to me still in movie history.
I can't disagree. That for a very long time, just the song, just that John Williams score would get me on edge, and I don't even need to be near the beach. What is it? Jaws 3 or 3D or whichever one it was where they have
Jaws in space,
the underwater tube.
Yeah,
he's coming at the tube. I remember that as a kid so much. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't even imagine. Like it. Yeah. Jaws is and look, one of the things that we didn't do today. That's kind of the first horror type almost movie. There were a bunch of horror scenes that I saw over the course of the last couple of days. I was like, oh yeah, that is a really big nostalgic horror scene. I just didn't mention them. But yeah, good pick. Jaws. Wow. Finish with Jaws. That is the ending. Hey, look, we're almost to the 3-hour mark. Last thing, quick game, and we're out of here. Y'all be ready to tell us.
I really hope, just for Ben's sake, we land on hot takes. I talked to him today.
I mean, we can just make it hot takes.
This guy's got some hot takes. I'm sure he's got one or two about movies. So.
We could hot take. There it goes. Here coming around. Oh, it almost made it. Who's your George? So this is a lightning round, 10 questions. Just what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Number
word association here.
Yeah, like word association. Here's the fun fact about Who's Your George. It was the second segment of the Rushmore Show. Episode 1. Episode 1, we
pilot episode actually.
Yeah, the pilot episode, which was Christmas movies. So let me pull up the list because I do these all before the show. Let me see right here.
While he's pulling that up, Ben, I know you're a big Christmas guy. What's the number one Christmas movie?
Oof.
Is it a debate? Is it just an outright?
So
Batman Returns.
I would say
yes, thank you.
Tie for number one would be Christmas Vacation, and this is a little bit of a hot take as well for you, Andy.
I love
Die Hard, definitely.
Right there.
And yes, it is absolutely.
Which off Nakatomi Plaza was almost one of mine too. So thanks for saying that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, here we go.
It is a Christmas
number one question.
Action movie.
Number one question. This is for both of you guys. Andy, you can participate if you'd like. Number 1. What is the most emotional movie scene of all time?
Oh, easy. I have it right away. When Mufasa gets mauled by the stampede and Simba says, "Come on, Dad, we gotta go. Come on, get up." And
Get up.
I mean, I'm dead. I'm dead.
I'm sure Optimus Prime might be one for you.
Well, Optimus Prime would be one, but in lieu of that, I'll give my other, and I'll just say the quote: "I have been and always shall be your friend." Death of Spock in Star Trek II.
All right.
I'm not a Star Trek, so I wouldn't know that, but I do know that. Yeah, there you go. Hey, Ben, you got one?
Well, yeah. In lieu of the cap lifting Mjolnir, because I would say that's very emotional. I'm gonna go way back and Land Before Time.
Yes,
the stars.
Littlefoot's mother.
All right. Well, since you guys all mentioned my 3 of my 4 most saddest moments of all time, I would go with Artax in Neverending Story.
Oh yeah.
Artax! Come on! Oh gosh.
Oh, what about Wilson? I mean,
Wilson. Yeah. All right. Action scene. Number 1.
Best action scene.
Andy, you already said Kill Bill. That's a good one.
God, it's
I already said The Matrix. Matrix has got to be the best one for me.
I'll stick with Crazy 88 for mine.
You got one?
Got one, Ben?
Number 1 for me. I don't know that I would say it's number 1, but it's certainly coming to mind. It's going to be Duel of Fates, Episode 1. Phantom
Music
Menace.
alone.
Yep.
Yeah. So Darth Maul. All right.
Wow. I am
Drawing a
I'm gonna
blank.
probably go with this is good. It's gonna be a weird one. It's one of the best action scene of all. I'm gonna have to go. I'm just gonna go with Kill Bill. I'm gonna crush it.
You could have Equilibrium. That was the
Equilibrium, fantastic too. But
yeah.
you
Kill
know
Bill
what?
was a great scene.
The 88
Plot twist. I already said mine. 6 cents. Plot twist.
When I think plot twist,
Darth Vader is kind of one too, honestly.
Yeah, I was going to say Vader, but for me, I'm going Usual Suspects.
Oh, I watched that today. Literally, while
great
I was
movie.
putting this together, I watched it today
Great
because
movie,
it was on like
and-
every list. I hadn't seen it in a while, and I was like, "Remind me." And it unfortunately, knowing that he's Kaiser Soze didn't hit as bad, but
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
It's on
first time
something
seeing
list.
it. I mean, trying to pick a scene from it, I actually thought about it was very difficult. But if you say a plot twist, yeah, that
the plot twist part where he figures it out and
I would go 6 cents for me.
6 cents.
Awesome.
You got one?
Yes, that Ed Norton and Brad Pitt are the same person.
Oh, that was on my list too. Fight Club. Yes.
Yep.
Hey, best final scene. Final scene.
Final scene.
Ending.
Scooby-Doo ending in Wayne's World. No, they do the ultra happy ending.
I'm going to go with one. I thought of this earlier when Ben was saying the bad guy wins. This is one of the only movies that I can remember other than that the bad guy wins. And sorry if you haven't seen this, but I'm going with another Tim Robbins movie, Arlington Road. Man, if you haven't seen that movie, go watch that. But you got one? You have one, James? This ending.
Well, since it's just association, we've already been to this well. So since 3 Harrison Ford movies are in my top 10, I am going with Opening the Ark.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
When your hero doesn't do anything to save the day and God steps in, that's got to be one of the best endings.
Quotable scene. Quotable scene.
Oh God.
Most quotable scene.
Oh.
Well, I did mine too. For me, it's the Christmas Vacation.
I'm going. I have the high ground.
I have the high ground. And a good.
I'll go Ferris Bueller's again, and I'll do
Uh-huh.
Kennedy. So wing better.
So winga.
See, for me, I would go to the climax of Ghostbusters from just about any line after Bill Murray says, "Now that's something you don't see every day."
It's good.
You say yes.
So she's a dog.
Scene that made you gasp.
What's in the box?
Oh gosh, that's a good scene. What's in the box?
Kevin Spacey's speech in Seven almost was
So
fighting
that
on the Rushmore.
that was on my list as well. What's in the box? The whole ending to that.
It's hard to put these like right here. We're on the spot.
I'll say one, which might be what Andy's thinking, but the Pulp Fiction ending. Just the whole culmination coming in and then not getting to see what's in the case. And then I was like, did it just end? Like, wait, what? Like, wait, hold on. We didn't, you know.
I'm going to have to go Braveheart with the execution of William Wallace.
Wow. And Freedom was on my list tonight, too. That was one of the ones I was going to pick. The monologue from Braveheart.
I might swap mine out for, although I feel bad at spoiling it for anybody who hasn't seen the Book of Eli.
Oh, that was on a lot of lists. Great movie.
That's when you realize what exactly the full nature of what he's carrying and the full nature of his impediment. That
movie is so underrated. It might make my Denzel movies. Scene that you wish you could watch for the very first time.
I will say real quick because I didn't do a gasp. I'm trying to think of these, and it's so silly because it's one I saw recently. But I audibly gasped when I saw Mr. Game & Watch in the new Super Mario movie. I was like, it's happening. We're getting a Smash Brothers movie. Mr. Game & Watch is in the movie. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Scene that you wish you could watch again for the very first time.
Oh. Well, kind of in light of something you said earlier, Kirk, my dad passed in 2005. We read probably hundreds of Hulk comics together. We saw the 2003 movie together.
Oh, go.
To rewatch the scene where the Avengers assemble in 2012 and the wraparound camera scene, to be sitting there again, to see it for the first time and have my dad sitting next to me.
That would be awesome. Ideal. That's great.
Really good one. I'm going to go pretty recent. I'm going to go with Deadpool 3, the opening credit scene with Deadpool fighting the TVA. to the what is it, the Bye 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 song.
Bye, bye, bye. And I'm going to argue every time you watch that scene feels like the first time.
Scene you wish you could watch again for the first time. Andy, you got one?
Well, I think, and I hate to just keep coming back to this movie, but I think about like it because it was only a 2-watch movie, The Sixth Sense, like to be able to watch it again for the first time.
Yeah.
Be really cool because it is such a great, but it's almost like, why are you watching it a third time?
I'm going to go with the opening scene, I guess, of a movie, just because I want to watch the whole movie over again for the very first time. But my childhood, I think, is wrapped. And there was a scene mentioned earlier. Hey, you guys! But to watch Goonies again, for the very, I watched it with my son maybe 2 years ago, and for his first time, and just watching him like truffle shuffle and all that, that's just great. All right, 2 more left. Underrated movie scene of all time. Underrated
movie
theme
scene. Underrated movie scene. They're all movie scenes. Underrated.
Oh, gosh. Well, only because it's the only Star Wars one we didn't talk about yet, and it was in my Benjamins, and might as well mention it right now. Darth Vader walking down the hallway in Rogue One.
Yep, it was my next pick. Well. That was my very next pick.
Yep. Yeah.
And the only reason I didn't mention it because we had already mentioned
it. Saber glows, and then you see, dude. I mean, that's crazy. That may be a gasp movie too. So who knows?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going with Star Wars, but I'm going to go to the very first scene of Star Wars in the history of Star Wars when Vader enters the Tantive 4. I would consider that an underrated scene.
Yeah.
Underrated. So I'm trying to think of obscure.
I'm trying to think obscure too, and I don't know.
I'm going to go with the climax of Pitch Black.
Ooh.
Which is a movie I run into a few people who have seen it.
I love Pitch Black.
When Vin Diesel,
when Riddick realizes,
opener.
Yeah.
To me, it's almost like a Shawshank moment when the lead character sacrifices herself for Vin Diesel, and he's on his knees and he's like, "Not for me, not for me," and because she basically gave him grace by substituting her life for his, which then leads him at the end to say, just tell him Riddick died on this planet. There's almost a born again moment there until you get to the sequel, but beautiful scene moment there of transformed life there. So.
All right, yeah, this is another one that was on my list. This is the one I kind of thought of at the last minute. I was like, oh, I just thought of another one. I'm going when Harry Stamper dies heroically in Armageddon.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that in a while.
And closes the door, dude. Just it's a big moment for me. I don't know. Movie's cheesy, but that moment is just amazing. All right, last one. The movie scene that defines your childhood.
I mean, I already gave you my George. I don't know what else to do.
Wayne's World defines your childhood?
No, maybe not.
Can we pick two?
Yeah. Go.
Drop it. I'm dropping. The first one is the opening scene to G.I. Joe the movie, 1987. The entire montage. It's it's like a 6-minute intro, and honestly, it's the best part of the movie. That would definitely that led to really, I guess you could trace it all the way back to STCC's formation. Is that intro, honestly, going all the way back. And then number two definitely would have to be Monty Python and Fighting
the Black Knight.
Yep, the Black Knight. Yep.
Where is Oh Captain, My Captain still here? He hates that movie. Roy hates
such
that
a great movie. Merely a flesh wound.
I'm gonna have to go with well, my first memory of a movie period is I'm coming back from the bathroom at a drive-in theater with my mom. Well, actually, I'm not even sure which parent. I just have my hand. I'm not holding the hand of a parent, and I'm walking back to the car and seeing X-wings descend on the Death Star. So that definitely has a component. But I would say, if you looked at my wife and my coffee mugs, she has a coffee mug that says "I love you," and I have a coffee mug that says "I know." It's probably Han Solo and Leia's his cavalier walk into going into his presumed death in The Empire Strikes Back.
John Stout is dropping some bars out here. Freedom. He's agreeing with everything you're saying. Pitch Black's so underrated. Now he's saying none shall pass. That's a good scene. Makes me think of a one that possibly was going to show up for my wife and I with The Notebook, but that is not going to make it because that's not my childhood. My childhood scene, 100%, it blends two of my favorite things of all time. My love for Saturday morning cartoons and baseball. A Jose Canseco bat? Don't tell me you paid money for this. Original Ninja Turtles. Casey with the wooden bat fighting Raphael. My goodness. That is such a big moment in my childhood.
I think
all right,
I think
Hey,
I would
Kirk.
go-
Kirk, I'm just going to say this. You're going to enjoy November.
yeah, I will for sure.
I will say define my childhood. It's hard to say because what do we call it? Childhood, little kid, do we call whatever? But I remember having this VHS. I remember what happened pre the VHS, like I remember the previews on this VHS. So we watched this movie a ton. I'm gonna go the power line scene from a Goofy movie. That's where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go eye to eye. I could do Leaning Tower of Chisa. I could do any of those. But
Leaning Tower of Chisa.
yeah, I'll go with Goofy movie.
All right. Well, look, guys. Ben, it's been too long since you've been on. We will see you soon at St. Tammany Collectors Con. And James, thanks for coming around, man, and being on the show. We love what you're doing. I love your ministry and everything you got going on. I got to definitely pick up those 2 books from you and get into that. Do me a favor before you guys head out, share your part of the internet, and then we'll tell everybody good night. So let's go Ben first. Tell everybody about STCC, which we talk about a lot around here.
I will say I like your shirt. I just wanted to say that. So yeah, STCC, we are ramping up very quickly here for our November event. Like I said, it's going to be the 10-year anniversary. We're going to be putting content on all of our social media with St. Tammany Collectors Con on Facebook. We're on X, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, and our website, sttammanycomiccon.com. That's where you can find us.
Nice.
Prime, yes. Good night, man. Thanks for being here. We love you so much. Hope everything is going well with you. James, tell everybody about your neck of the internet.
Well, easiest way to find us is look up popcorntheology.com on, there's a website, there's YouTube. You can also find a lot of my old written reviews and content versus video at cinemagog.com, which is cinema, Gogue. So cinema and synagogue. And synagogue, or you could just talking about the books. I'm on Amazon. You can just look for James Harleman or look up Cinemagog on Amazon.com and pick up if you like movie quotes, movie scenes, and all that, but from a spiritual angle. And moving through the 80s and 90s and 2000s, talking about different forms of cinema. Or if you like having small groups, there's even some workshops. There's movies and questions for discussion and things. You can even do your own thing. So. But you can always pop in. There's shorts and lots of episodes. I think we're over 300 and counting for Popcorn Theology. So you can type in and search for the movie maybe that you love most. We don't have UHF on there yet, but I'll talk to the guys about it.
Yeah. And as we always tell other content creators, if you ever have room for us, let us know. We'd love to come and visit on your side of the woods. And man, I can't wait to hang out this year at St. Tammany Collectors Con, as well as Louisiana RetroCon. Davey was in the chat. Hopefully we get in the Southeast Gaming Exchange, which is coming up. And I actually messaged Austin again not long back. He's announcing all the amazing big guys that have like 100,000 views that are going to be there. Hopefully we get a little sliver of that. And if not, we'll still be there going live as we always do. But we would love to be able to preach over there on Red Dead Redemption. That'd be really cool because that's their theme this year. But yeah, it's time to go. We've passed we're at 311, which is a good band, by the way.
Original, man.
Yeah. Tell everybody good night.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you guys, Ben, James. Thank you for everybody who hung out in the chat tonight. But it's time to say good night, like we always do. This is the Rushmore Show, where it's all about your top four. And you guys say and nothing more. That's what you say.
I froze like a deer in
You're good.
headlights.
You're good. That's just the whole point.
Nothing more.
And nothing more.
Peace.